right. Welcome back, anyone who's tuning in. It's djfallingupg here with best friend strangledangles. Let me share my screen for you. I just remembered to do that. We're gonna have a little bit different of a stream this time. Pretty similar. We're still gonna play some Magic, but we are also going to brew a deck list together because there's a new set available on Arena right now. Aetherdrift as of today. Pretty great timing for my typical Tuesday night stream. And as anyone who's watched any amount of the streams or just knows me as a person would know, I have been a Death and Taxes, Selesnya, playing Dromoka's Command and Pioneer, lots of white cards, white creatures player for a very long time, probably like 3 years running out of this like same core deck list. And I finally think there's a reason to try shaking it up a significant amount. There have been some minor shakeups, you know, as new cards have come out. Virtue of Loyalty has become a mainstay in the deck I was playing for a while. But like lots of the core has stayed pretty static for a while. But now we have a new Selesnya card. One of the first just good actual Selesnya, like truly Selesnya creatures that is just a standalone good card in a very long time. I always complain to Paul, to you about how shitty most of the Selesnya creatures are. They're all like, they give more counters or whatever. They're just like clearly not constructed worthy cards for the most part when it's like a 2 or 3 mana Selesnya creature. So
dude, I don't know. Park Heights Pegasus still has potential.
That was such a good example. Wasn't that the one with like Saddle 3 or whatever? I don't know. Some like the numbers are. It's like the opposite of like the Thragtusk Shield. It's like all the numbers are pushed like low power, low toughness,
exactly.
massive mount for a good effect if you satisfy the fact that everything else about the card's terrible. So, but we finally get.
Way.
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's been like their paradigm of Selesnya creatures. It's just been like none of them are just objectively strong. Then Rakdos gets like Blood Tithe Harvester as uncommon or whatever. But we finally have Brightglass Gearhulk. So let's jump in, give a real quick preface to this, and I'm gonna share. We're each gonna share some deck lists we came up with. Mine will, spoiler alert, or no surprise, spoiler, the not surprising spoiler alert, will be Death and Taxes-y in nature, as I like to just play that kind of strategy. But let's start with just the Gearhulk in and of itself. So it's, you know, double green, double white, 4/4 creature, artifact creature, with first strike and trample, and then it's kind of got a Ranger of Eos callback here, where when it enters, you can search your library for up to 2 artifact creature and/or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less, and put them in your hand. I think like the more I thought about this card, when I first read it, from my like very rooted in my Death and Taxes list, I was not that high on it at first. Like if you were more excited about it than me, Paul, when we were first talking, it just seemed to me like the sorcery speed. I've been very attached to like Wandering Emperor play patterns in this deck for a while, having like the 4 mana, like the top end is like a flash card, which is a lot of play to it, a lot of versatility in its play patterns. And that was something I value pretty highly, and I do think it's strong. So I was just immediately like seeing the tension there of like, okay, this is clearly a card you build around. Like, you don't just like throw 1 or 2 of this in, you know, like you could with Wandering Emperor, or you could with some of the other top end cards I've messed around with in the past. This is clearly a build around. You're gonna like take advantage of this effect of tutoring things. You're gonna want to probably max out on it, and then suddenly you're tapping out on turn 4 in a way that the deck has not historically really done for me. So something that I was just not like super excited about at first, but then the more I thought about it, the more it just. I think the way I would frame it, and I'm like very ready for my takes here to be completely wrong. Like, first of all, I'm not important in the Magic community at all, so it just doesn't matter if my takes are way off. But I'm ready to like make some takes because why not? Like that's what we're here to do, right? And I do play a lot of these cards. I think this card has a chance to be like a Fable of the Mirror-esque card. It's 2 colors, so it's not quite as egregious. 4 mana instead of 3. But it just strikes me as the type of card, the more I've like thought about it, where like you play it and you're just ahead. Like the opponent has an annoying thing to deal with right away. And even if they deal with the annoying thing, you got a very significant advantage from just resolving the spell.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and I think like the high-end power level of this card, like the maybe contrast to Fable, is that it's like easier to like kind of deal with right away in a sense, because if you kill the token, the opponent doesn't have to spend any more mana on Fable to like get their guy a few turns later. So like that part's more baked in and free for the Fable player. But this card, if you don't kill it right away, like not killing the Goblin Shaman, they get to attack, make a treasure, like very clearly getting an advantage right away. But this is like much bigger, much more menacing body. Like on an open board in like the mid-range matchup or late game matchup, like top decking this with like your 6 lands or 5 lands or whatever compared to your opponent top decking Fable, this is like oh, I win next turn, top deck card, you know? Whereas Fable's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm ahead now. My opponent had nothing. This is like, oh, I drew this and you lose unless you top deck Fatal Push or whatever right away, or a removal spell right away, kind of thing. So this, like, the top end of this card is absurdly good. That's, I think, the more I thought about it, you know, I started to realize, yeah, this card in and of itself is maybe like, rather than thinking of it as like, does this supplement the way I've previously built this archetype? I've more and more come to believe that like this is a card that will just like create an archetype around it. I don't know that it will become a top deck. Frankly, I think the power level's probably there. I just, you know, Selesnya is not a color combo that's getting a lot of play. If this card was in like a color combo that's traditionally more popular, you know, or was like, you know, fit into like the Coco shell or whatever, was 3 mana for only getting one, fetching one, that, you know, I think it would be more likely to see immediate play if it like more easily fit into a type of deck that people already liked that existed in Selesnya. But I do think that it like warrants being truly built around, and that's what I've tried to kind of do now with this take, is like actually start, instead of starting with my old deck and try to fit it in, I tried really hard to like force myself to tear down the green-white taxes list of the studs a bit, which is like brutally hard for me. You know me, you'll probably make fun of the fact of how close I got to the old deck here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I still see it there.
Oh,
yeah.
the old deck's still here. I mean, but like I had more. I painstakingly whittled away many of the old components more than I wanted to at first, to say like I have to be like really building around this, and I still, to be like, I have lots of question marks about this list that I've put together here. So like I'm not pretending I've solved it and like this is the perfect mix, but I did just try to think about the fact that like, I think what I tried to keep in mind is that like I know I have a strategy that like didn't need this card to like have a good curve and win games, you know, on its own. So absolutely. I didn't want to like take away literally everything that I already knew was working just to build around this with, you know, I like the taxes-y stuff, I like the creatures I was playing, so I tried to like basically go through the exercise of which ones still fit well within what this card will be bringing to the table. So I want to give you that was me, you know, shouting from the rooftops, rambling if everyone's heads off. I want to give you a little bit of time to just, before we jump into an actual deck list, just give your quick thoughts, any responses to what I said, whatever.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with you. I think this is an archetype defining card. I don't know what that archetype's going to turn out to be, whether it's going to be a meta choice or if it's just going to be us playing it. I think it'll be more than just us playing it, but I totally you know, agree with your sentiments of comparing it to Fable. Yes, it's 1 mana more, but you know, and just the toolbox aspect of it, just picturing the different scenarios with this card is just insane. Like whether it's 4 mana, I get a very solid threat that you have to deal with, and I go get 2 other threats. Okay, that's insane. Or I get a threat and a removal spell. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's insane. I mean, just you know, I think I mentioned to you either on a call or through text or something, I think this ability is better than if it just said, when this enters, draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
And when you think about it that way, it's like, okay, if this did just say, when it enters, draw 2 cards, that would be insane, right? Cards don't just come in and draw 2 cards at 4
like
drops.
4 mana, 4 first strike templates.
Yeah, right. But I think it's like probably better than that, and that I just think says a lot. Yeah. And also comparing it to Coco is actually very interesting because we're sitting here. It's a 4 mana card, and you're putting it in a green-white creature shell, which is like where Coco has pretty much lived most recently in Pioneer. Mm-hmm. And so I think comparing the two is actually interesting, because if you think about a resolved Coco compared to this, I think a lot of times I would rather have this. One, it's not random, so that's a big point in its favor. You don't occasionally get nothing off of it, or occasionally get a Llanowar Elf or whatever.
No, it says create a pile of all the 1 mana cards in your deck, shuffle it, then flip the top 2 and you get those.
Right. Yeah, so that's already a big point in its favor. And 2, like you only get 1 body immediately. Yeah. But, unless you're playing it on turn 5, then you might have 2 bodies immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
And
playing it on turn 6 with 6 mana is actually great.
Right. Oh, yeah. It's just like, I feel like you playing this deck, you've never had a late game top deck of this power level. Like, yes, Virtue's really good. Yes, Wandering Emperor is really good late game top decks. But I think this is on another level of as far as late game top decks go. And yeah, I've got 2 different lists. They look very different from yours.
I figured they would. You tried Death and Taxes too? What?
Well, okay, I will say there's still some inclusions in there that are definitely there because of your decks. But yeah, well, one of them's like pretty out there, and one of them is like the list I would be running if I was, playing MTGO right now. But
Yep.
I by no means think I have it figured out either. So it'll just be interesting to talk through our different choices.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, well maybe I'll start with mine, and then we'll go to your maybe slightly more conventional one, which I'm guessing will overlap with this one more. Who knows? And then we can go to your crazy one, and then we can decide what just looks the most fun. I'm guessing I'll probably want to do something pretty similar to this. Spoiler alert, just because that's.
Oh yeah, no, I expected as much. I just wanted to want to throw the other idea
and
out
I'm
there
very up to tweaking
in the back of your mind.
Some of the stuff in your list, like you might have come up with an angle or make a point that I didn't think of when we're pretty far down in the tank in this one in terms of like.
Well, I can tell you right now, there's already one card that I'm kind of surprised not to see here, and maybe you just didn't think of it, so I'm excited. Maybe. But I'll wait until we get to my list.
I think maybe where I should start, because like a lot of the other deck building will be warped around this, and I don't know which view is better. I was doing this view to show that pop up of a card. Maybe this view is a little easier to kind of make the point I'm going to make here. So I have Moxfield and deck box views of the deck list here. I want to just start with the package of what Gearhulk can fetch before I get into literally anything else.
Yeah, sounds good.
The mana base we can talk about a little bit too. It's very similar to like what I've played before, but like I have historically been playing 2 Field of Ruin and 2 Mutavault in like my Death and Taxi deck. I basically cut all the colorless lands and replaced the 4 colorless with 3 Lair of Hydra, 1 Boseiju. I'm pushing pretty hard on the man lands here. I just think that this is the exact type of deck. I wish Stirring Wildwood was a card in legal in this format. I don't understand why it isn't. You
could play the Llama.
I thought about the Llama. I just think it's like Lair of Hydra is just like you pay 4 mana to get a 3/3 with this, or you pay 4 mana to get a 3/3 with a tap land. I think Lair gives you every other option. Like I think Lair is like better than Cave most of the time. Like I think it's very good. So
I would agree.
Like I almost would rather be on 3 Lair 2 Cave, but I just think pushing the mana lane count is high. I'll have to see. Like have not been historically playing like 2 of these types of man lands in this deck, so this might just be like too many, along with Razor Ridge Thicket, of like entering tapped lands after the land count gets higher. I might have to like tweak it down a bit, but I kind of want to just initially be aggressive with the man land count, because that's just a thing that, in my opinion, really benefits these lists in general that are like Death and Taxes and playing the 24 lands. Like I kind of think of it as like I could cut a land maybe, arguably, but instead I'll play a 24th and it'll be just another man land.
I totally am with you. My lists, I would say both lean a little bit more aggressively than what you've got, but I'm still playing 24 lands of both. I mean, it's a 4 mana card that has pretty specific requirements. I think 24 is like, at least at the beginning, that's non-negotiable.
Okay. Yeah. Glad we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
So now we get to the package of fetching. I'll start with the one that like I initially was really skeptical of, and then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I think it just has to be in the deck to make this card as good as it can be, because I think if you took like an 1,000 game sample of and every instance that you cast this card, I think the single most frequent, not like over 50%, but like if you added up every combination of 2 cards you fetched with it, I think the single most frequent would end up being Sigarda's Aid and Colossus Hammer. I just think having an I win button with this card, like this is the thing where like you have 1 Thraben Inspector and your opponent's at 10 life, and they play their Fable, and you're a mid-range, and it's a top deck war, and you have 6 lands, and you top deck this card. Like I want to just win the game immediately, type thing.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess this doesn't give tramples. That's one thing. But I want to have an I win button with this card because it exists, and I think it is justified. We'll see if we end up like.
Well,
it's hard to spend.
It doesn't matter that it doesn't give trample. It already has trample.
Oh yeah, I just meant if like you had a 1/1 out or whatever.
Something else. Yeah.
Right. If your opponent has a chumper. But right. I think that just like it's gonna lead to the stupid like I just draw a Colossus Hammer in my hand type game.
Right.
But one mitigating factor of that I think is like the fact that if you draw a Colossus Hammer but you also still draw Brightglass Gearhulk, well now you just get to fetch Sigarda's Aid plus maybe Shadow Spirit plus the Shard Mage's Rescue. Like you still get to fetch the other part of the combo, and now an actually good utility card with the combo. So I think like the condition for these cards being bad is truly drawing them and not ever resolving a Gearhulk. So I think
I like it.
I'll have to see how it goes, but that's my first take. That the more I thought about it, the more I was like, I just don't think I can build the deck without that. 1 Shard Mage's Rescue, I think like having counter removal spell effect for 1 mana that you can fetch just seems too good to pass up as well. I think it's like a pretty fine card to draw in a lot of like back and forth matchups where just having a 1 mana effect that does something like this is like not going to kill you to draw it, and it's going to be like really good when you want to fetch it up to protect your like Archon or whatever, your Retain that's like currently blocking out the opponent. Shadow Spear I think is going to be one of the common fetch up this in like against aggro decks. Like, I think it's probably just the single best.
Oh yeah.
Gain you life and like win races again if like it's just top deck war and you have like one random body out and then you get the Gearhulk obviously like it's gonna be a 5/5 trample lifelink first strike against the red deck and you're at 7 life and they're at 20 like
right
like one turn to draw like a braid or whatever or a artifact removal or you're winning immediately.
Yeah, so Shadow Spear is a no-brainer.
Yep. I will call out on the Shadow Spear right away just as food for thought. I don't know if you had the same decision point. I have this like considering section down here I made. Basilisk Collar is like not that different. They both give lifelink. They both are 1 mana and equip 2. One gives death touch and one gives +1/+1. So, and I don't genuinely know. I think the +1/+1 will be a little better in racing situations with the lifelink.
I think the +1/+1's better. Basilisk Collar is also in my considering.
It's just because this has first strike.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, okay, you can't ever block me now. It's like at first strike and trample. So like assigning 1 damage kills something and all the rest goes to the face. So that's a nutty little combo. I think it warrants being called out, but I do think Shadow Spear is probably like the slightly better overall on average. Now I'll just cover the like 1-drop creatures. Actually, Gilded Goose is going to be like a can of worms. So I'll just go Giant Killer. Seems like a total like you have to have one of it. I already love it. So yeah, that doesn't need to be described too much. Selfless Savior and Thraben Inspector. I think like Thraben Inspector has been my favorite 1-drop in my deck, for a really long time. It's just like 4 of amazing with lots of the other synergies. I think that will stay true in this deck, even with some of the other deck building changes, like holding an equipment, getting counters from Drogoka's Command or Wandering Emperor or whatever. Like it's just going to be great value, and you're like, it's a card you would never be sad to fetch up if you like ran out of some of the other targets by drawing them naturally or whatever. Or just if you want like just the extra body, it's like get a body plus a clue. Amazing. Selfless Savior, I think, is just a good 1-drop. I think this deck, I think just having Selfless Savior out when you resolve a Gearhulk seems amazing because the opponent's going to need to kill the Gearhulk often. Like, it's just going to, with like the equipments you can fetch up and having first strike and trample, like, it's going to need to be killed on sight, I think, in this deck. And so I think Selfless Savior was already a card I think 2 is kind of the number I've been on for a little bit. I wish it was like gave hexproof and indestructible or something like that, but can't get it all. I still think, and like I think there will be game states where like maybe you play this and you're in a really commanding position, so you just fetch up like Selfless Savior plus Shard Mage's Rescue or something. Like if you're that far ahead, I think like getting like a body that gives indestructible plus a counter other type of removal spells just like could be the lockout play at times. So I think those are those. I feel like there has to be one graveyard removal card main, just like has to be. I don't know. That's how I feel, and the one I settled on was Ghost Vacuum. Like I feel like if you're playing against Phoenix or playing against Greasefang, there just needs to be a card you can go get to help you against graveyard synergies in the main.
I like it. Yeah, I like Ghost Vacuum a lot.
Yeah, I debated between that and Soul Guide Lantern as like the main deck one, and I feel like Ghost Vacuum. I like that it can get multiple cards out of the graveyard. Like the Soul Guide Lantern can only get 1, and then you have to like lose it to get all the rest. I like that this can just sit out there and like chip away. It's not ever gonna like get rid of a whole graveyard, but targeting is good against Phoenix's and Greasefang. So I think even just like getting one thing at a time is good enough in the matchups where you're gonna want it game 1 to help you. And then I like the fact that against fair decks, like it's something that kind of still needs to be removed because it will have a actually real effect later on in the game.
Right, they can't just let it sit there forever. Yeah.
And then the Paladin class is my like random fair deck put you over the top card as like it's almost like the Virtue of Loyalty replacement. Like there's no Virtue of Loyalties in this deck anymore. That was a tough cut for me to make. I tried really hard to. Yeah,
I'm surprised not to see it, to be honest.
There could be a different build that could play them, but then you have to sacrifice something else, and I went this direction. But I think Paladin class is like, okay, it's just an anthem, and then it's just like your big mana sink. Like if you're truly like sitting there against another fair deck, and they're just sitting there with like 2 creatures out, and you're sitting there with 1 Thraben Inspector, and you draw your. And maybe they have 2 cards in hand, like they have removals in hand, so you're not super excited about fetching up Colossus Hammer combo. They're like just playing this and being like, all right, I'll go get like Thraben Inspector plus Paladin class, like get and play all that out, and now like next turn I can dump mana and Paladin class, and eventually get like this crazy racing effect
Okay,
here that they
yeah.
can't really remove with creature removal. Like it will stick around even if they kill my stuff. Yeah,
I like that as a mana sink. Yeah.
I could see this not being good enough. Like
I did
maybe
not
like
come up with that one.
Shadow Spear and like Shard Mage's Rescue are like good enough, and like Fraven Inspector. You know, it's possible that like the Fair Deck package that inherently exists by just drawing 2 other cards is good enough to not need a card like this. So that's like on my radar, but seems pretty good. So yeah, that's kind of where I land there. The rest, I'll end with the Gilded Goose and see what you think
Yeah,
of that
I'm
whole
honestly
thing.
shocked to see that here because I feel like you're one of the most anti-mana dork people there is.
Well, that like somewhat explains why I landed on Gilded Goose that point right there. But
Yeah.
I'll cover the other stuff first. I basically trimmed, and I did legitimately debate all of these cards. Like, do I want to just cut one entirely because of what Gearhulk's bringing to the table? And I basically decided I think the answer is no. Like, I think just trimming on Archon, trimming on Redain, trimming on Wandering Emperor. 2 Wandering Emperor, I'm a little nervous that this is too many 4s. Like, and this might just need to be like 1 Wandering Emperor. I don't think I can bring myself to play 0 Wandering Emperors right now.
I love the Wandering Emperor.
I think at least one of is like gonna be in this deck because it's just too flexible and I played with it for too long. But like I think I'll maybe try out like 6 4-drops and see if it's just way too much. At first, it blushed with how I have this built. So Wandering Emperor don't really need to explain there, but I trimmed kind of all that. My thinking there is like, you know, game 1, I now have like a quick win combo kind of with like, okay, if I resolve Gearhulk and can go get Hammer, like that can help me against control and combo. So like having a little bit less of like the Archon Redain package is hopefully forgivable there. And then I did put in 2 voice like as a way to just bolster the 2-drop slot. Like this deck has become very light on 2s because of all the 1s that it's fitting in to facilitate Gearhulk. I did want at least a couple of a real 2-drop, and I feel like voice is just one that like helps you against control and helps you against fair decks right now. And I think losing out on like the Virtue of Loyalties, and like trimming on Wandering Emperor, you know, and stuff like that. Like I feel good about this being the 2-drop in this type of deck. Like it makes a body that like even if they kill, you get another body, and that's really good with equipments to just have bodies that even if they're 2/2s or whatever, like that's good. So I like that over like Aspirant. And I think I like it over Virtue of Loyalty as well right now. You know, that like this could be Virtue, I guess. But I just felt like this is the card that seems like it fits better with like trying to slam a Gearhulk on turn 4, because if you have a voice sitting around, like it's more likely to resolve, and if it gets countered or whatever, like now you get a voice token or something like that. So
yeah, I think overall that probably makes more sense than Aspirant in this build. I mean, Aspirant still has the nice benefit of just like making Goose and Inspector better,
exactly.
but
It's so good with Inspector and would be sweet with Goose too.
But yeah, I see the arguments for voice, and I experienced the same thing of like, where are my 2-drops? Once I had like the initial pile of cards in there, I was
really
like,
hard to even fit any
no
2-drops,
2-drops.
It would be easy to play no 2-drop creatures, and I just can't do that. Like that's not the type of deck builder I am.
Yeah.
I want a real curve, and this is sadly the best semblance of a real curve I can come up with here, which is kind of why like maybe what this Wandering Emperor needs to be 1, and there needs to be like 1 Virtue or like 3 voice or what. I did debate 1 Malira too. Like I love too many 3/3s with Dromoka's Command, and Malira is just like another card that like is nutty with protecting Gearhulk. You know, it's like I feel like Malira could be, and that could maybe be the more correct, like cut 1 4-drop, add 1 more 2. That's probably like I'm just feel sad losing the Wandering Emperors, but I think it will be worth it. We'll see. I think 4 Dromokas like still just has to be a must. It's just too good, and like the Gearhulk will just make the fighting really powerful still.
Yep, still love Dromokas.
Yeah,
I'm with you on not wanting to part ways with the Emperor either. It's
it's a tough decision. It might just be too much for the curve.
It might be.
And then I almost like Parting Gust was one of the cards that I was like feeling pretty okay trimming at first, and then I had the realization that Parting Gust is just it's always been like pretty reasonably strong at protecting things in this deck.
Because, oh my god, it blinks Gearhulk.
It's insane with Gearhulk. Blinking Gearhulk.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I went from like being like, maybe I go just like 1 Parting Gust as like a miser's catch-all, and then I was like, wait.
Oh no.
I have to have 3 Parting Gusts to blink Gearhulk as much as possible.
Alright, I need to go change my lists real quick. I did not catch that. I was like, yeah, we don't need those removal spells anymore.
Like honestly, I think 2 Parting Gust feels like a bare minimum to me. I'd rather cut down to 3 Dromokas than cut the second Parting Gust, because just blinking Gearhulk, like, yeah, there will just anytime that comes up, it's stupidly good. like
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Like if you play Gearhulk, you get a hit in with it, and then the opponent like wraths, and you have this like to blink Gearhulk and in response to the wrath or whatever. It's like I just win immediately. I mean it's just game.
Yeah.
So,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I did want to call that out with Parting Gust because I kind of thought that you might have had a similar thing where like you wanted to get rid of the Parting Gust, and then I was like, wait, no, I need more Parting Gust.
Yeah, no, even just staring at it here as we're walking through the list, I'm like, yeah, do we need those? Like, it's just, I mean, yeah, it's an efficient removal, but
Yeah.
I totally did not make that connection either. I always forget about that mode, which matters a lot,
yeah,
especially
it's a very relevant mode.
Yeah.
This deck, the builds I've been playing of this deck have played like only Skyclave and Thraben Inspector as like actual ETBs, and now it's like, oh, we just got a way better ETB than anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'll finish before we get into any sideboarding, which I'll try to do the sideboard relatively fast. Everything will be obvious why I have it, and then I'll just be curious to see your list and like what other like tutor targets you've come up with, because a lot of the sideboard is tutor targets. But Gilded Goose, it's just my concession to like I couldn't get around the fact that like I'm adding 4 drops. Like the curve is going up here, and like I do think resolving Gearhulk on turn 3 is like
really
insane.
Good.
Like there's no way around it. I couldn't bring myself to play literal Elvish Mystic or Llanowar Elf. I just can't do it. I don't think. Like, I almost think if you do that, then you want the deck to be, like, Virtue of Loyalty plus Gearhulk plus the Elves. And then you just have no interaction. Like, I think then you're just...
Right.
Your only interaction is the Gearhulk package at that point, I think. Like, you just run out of space. You're just, like, your deck is now Mana Dork's Gearhulk package plus Virtue of Loyalty to, like, help. And your Gearhulk is... And the Virtue is obviously all, like, going to help make the Elves matter more in the late game. And that might honestly be a very viable way to build the deck. I'm not saying it's not. I just, where I stand with. I wish they could just make my like life easy and put Noble Hierarch in the format and like have it be a mana dork that taps for white mana first of all, which I think tapping for only green is like a real thing, like a liability in this deck right now.
I agree.
And then also like the Exalted is just a very relevant abilities, but we don't need to go down the Noble Hierarch road. That's irrelevant because it's not legal. But Gilded Goose, so I'll just call it. It's like the way I think of it is it's like you're gonna get like a Lotus Petal out of it one turn if it lives, instead of being able to tap for mana every turn. Which the downside to that is it's very easy to imagine like the curve of playing Mana Dork turn 1 into Archon on turn 2 into Gearhulk on turn 3 or whatever. Like that's an insane curve if you get that. Like that's like probably I don't know a deck that you don't have that you have that curve against and aren't like insanely favored to win if they didn't remove one of your guys. Even if they just like kill the Gearhulk on that curve, it's still like you're hitting it with Archon, and so yeah, that would be really good. And Goose does not enable you to do that curve, but I think flying is really good with equipments. Flying is really good with counters. The life gain is something that I've like wanted more of in a list like this, no matter what. Although I'm getting it from Gearhulk a little bit too, but I think like the food creation is like a late game real thing that can just like stall a game out and help against random decks like spirits or humans or whatever that you're just, or like a shield or on the other side. And I think this deck it's not like mono green devotion or whatever, where it's that mana hungry. Like I think having like a targeted, like I get 1 extra mana in my first few turns for something important is something the deck can still really benefit from, and then it can also benefit from like the more late game value that the Goose provides instead of just a Llanowar Elf. So 3 is sort of like my concession to like I want some amount of that to be able to happen in some games. Like I want to be able to spike some games with like a random Lotus Petal that gets me really far ahead type situation.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just like I don't think this is an 8 elf deck. Like I just don't think a Gearhulk deck will ever be an 8 elf deck. You need too many other 1-drops to make it good, and then your deck's just all elves. Gearhulk 1-drops. I don't think that list can work. Or if it does, it's like truly all in on like I said, it's truly just like Gearhulk plus the elves plus that package plus like very little else going on in the deck, which is just like not what I'm super interested in playing. So this is sort of my like, perhaps I'm doing the thing that LSV did with his old Dragantron deck and getting the like worst of both worlds and the strengths of none. I'm just trying to have some mana dorks in, so I will occasionally have games, right? Like I did boost the actual 1-drop count here. Like I have 8 total like 1 mana plays I'm really happy to play on turn 1. My previous list were 4 Inspectors, like 2 Selfless Saviors, and like 1 Skrelv lately, so like 7 plus like 2 Giant Killers, which I never really want to play. I have like a full 8 here, so 1 more. But I didn't feel like I wanted to go too much higher because again, I'm already like have barely any 2-drops and really want like cards like Dramoka's Command and Parting Gust and whatever. So I don't think I can like go up to like 4 Geese or 4 Thraben Inspectors too easily. This is kind of my like splitting, trying to hope for getting the benefits of all of them in some reasonable mix, knowing that like I'm not gonna have a turn 1 mana dork all the time with this build. So that's my spiel there. Let me do the real quick sideboard and then I'll stop talking for a bit and let you chat. And this cocould use work. The Hushbringer, let me just address that first.
Hushbringer in a Gearhulk deck? I wanted to put Hushbringer in the sideboard too, but I was like, okay, when are we sideboarding out Gearhulks?
I don't think you do. I think the thing with Hushbringer is that it's just when you play it against the green-white deck and the other decks that it's good against, it's like they have to remove it immediately. Like their deck does nothing.
Yeah.
Or like the mono greens of the world, and those decks are like gonna be without that effect. Like it's nice to have a free I win button at 2 mana against those decks because you just aren't gonna win every long game against like mono green devotion if you don't have that kind of effect. And even if you have Gearhulk in your hand and you have Hushbringer on 2, like Gearhulk's still a 4 mana 4/4 first strike trample. It's still a card with real text. It blocks. It like literally beats the like old growth troll like, in a
True.
Blocks and attacks through and stuff. It's a very real Magic card still. Is it like the ideal anti-synergy? No. But I could be talked off this ledge. I think like all of the other interactive cards I was playing have like reasons why they're now imperfect. But I felt like Hushbringer was the one. And I think I meant to have like 2 of this here. I was gonna say my numbers here are a little bit off of where I landed. This is where I landed on the deck box version, but of my favorites. But I still just think Hushbringer's like the oops I win button against decks that like again like the green white other deck.
Yeah,
they just have like their turn 1 mana dork and turn 2, and you don't have Hushbringer in your deck, and you're just trying to like you're basically trying to be a fair deck that wins with Gearhulk against them. Like that's hard if they just get that lifelink drawing a card for every creature that enters card. I don't even remember what it's called, Glimmer of something. Like if they just have that and they just get going, like Gearhulk being your way to go over the top of that is like not. It's just less than what they're like. They're probably gonna be the one to go over the top of you. I just like having some number of insurance. If that deck is like a very real deck in the format, amongst some others that it's Hushbringer's also very good against.
That's fair. Hushbringer is truly a trump card when it is. It's like usually just game. So I can get behind it. I mean, I almost put it in there, but I was like, I can't do it.
And I don't fault you for that. Like this very well could be like you play with it for a little bit and realize it's horrible or something. But it just still seems like where you want it, Gearhulk as your plan to win in the longer games against those matchups isn't actually going to get you wins all that often.
Yeah, I can see it.
Invasion of Govicon, I think that's a pretty clear, like, really fits really. It's even better, I think, with like the Gearhulk sub-strategy than it was in this deck before, I think, probably.
Yeah, I agree.
Good. I think that's like a clear, you still want all 4 of those for all the same matchups you wanted before. But now you get into really nice Gearhulk package targets that are like good sideboard cards anyways, but now we also have a way to tutor them. And that's like a couple Portable Hole, could be talked into like a third. Also, to immediately call something out, Portable Hole is one of the cards I debated pretty strongly on like whether I could fit one into the main deck or not. And because of the Parting Gust thing, that's why I like didn't fit one in, because I was like, I still want the 2 Parting Gusts. Like that was my differentiator of like Parting Gust with Gearhulk seems too nutty to like have Portable Hole be the one I fit in the main and like not have like I'm not gonna have Parting Gust in the sideboard, like it's I wanted the Parting Gust.
Fair enough.
But this could still be needed in the deck as like a out for things in the main deck, but I just would have to come up with what to cut. Deafening Silence and Tormod's Crypt are like really great Phoenix and Lotus Field anti-combo card here. Tormod's Crypt obviously Greasefang and Phoenix a little bit potentially other cards there. Any other graveyard decks really good. I don't need to explain it too much. Grafdigger's Cage really good against like Sack and Coco decks and Mono Green. Really nice to have a card.
I like Cage. I forgot about Cage. That's a good choice.
It took a while for me to think of that, and then once I did, I was like, there's the way to stop Coco, and you don't need to keep Containment Priests in the sideboard anymore. It's like a little bit tough to part ways with Containment Priests because they're really, really good, I still think, but just being able to have one Grafdigger's Cage, and maybe the Grafdigger's Cage is one of the ones that should be 2 of. I think that's entirely possible. Shaper's Sanctuary, really good, obviously, on turn 1 against opposing removal decks, but also amazing to fetch up when you're just in like a grindy state of a game. This is where I kind of question, like, is just having this in the sideboard as like a 2 of, does it make like Paladin class kind of not necessary? Because I feel like they're both really good at like, a similar type of game state and matchup.
Yeah.
So it could be like, you just always want the Shaper Sanctuaries in those matchups, and game 2 and 3, it's so good to have those that like Paladin class is irrelevant, and maybe that means it's not good enough to like have a main deck slot. And then Haywire Might, I had a tough time deciding between some other options. Like there's that Insidious Fungus that costs 1 more mana but can hit like creature artifacts and enchantments. At the end of the day, I figured like you have Portable Hole and you have Giant Killer, so you have other removal spells for truly things that are creatures that you can fetch with Gearhulk already. And Haywire Might having like the incidental life gain being the one that's 2 mana, like to get rid of like Enigmatic Incarnation or get rid of a Leyline Binding. Like it's the cheapest way to do that you can fetch.
I love Haywire.
And I think you want 2 of this effect in the board, whether you picked like Insidious Fungus, but then it costs 3 mana to do that same thing. Like I think you either want like 1 Haywire Might, 1 Fungus, or 2 Fungus, or 2 Haywire Might to me. And then like it just, there's matchups where like this is, you play, like I think if you're against like Enigmatic Incarnation and the game is like close and you know there's no clear, like maybe you can go for your combo, but like you either like go for your combo or you play your Hulk and you just fetch 2 Haywire Mights, you know.
Right.
Like,
Yep. I'll take out your binding and your incarnation.
Yeah.
Cool. Good game. Yeah.
Right. So
even the impending guys before they come off pending. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where I landed. I don't know if you want me to now.
Yeah. I'll just. Or... Yeah. I just put the link in the chat for you.
Cool. Yeah. I was gonna say I should.
So. Yeah, so I'll preface this with, after talking through your list, I would probably already make some changes to mine.
Yeah, I figure when we chalk the years, I figure that would be changes I want to make. Where can I see the chat? I should be good at this kind of thing. This is like what I do for my job, but there it is, chat. Okay.
But
got it.
I think there's some interesting ideas in here. So one, I tried to stay true to the mid-range plan. But after talking through it, I'm like, man, maybe so I have the 2 Emperors also. I really like that card, but that is a lot of 4-drops, and I have no mana dorks. And I am playing 24 lands, but I still have 2 Virtues in there as well, because I'm playing a lot of small creatures, as you can see. Yeah. Now there's one juicy one that I think I'm trying to sell you on. Paw Patch Recruit.
Okay, 4 Paw Patch. Yeah, I do see that.
Here's why. Okay. A few reasons. One, it's a 1-drop that's also a 3-drop that gives you 2 bodies. So that's a great. So turn 4, I play a Gearhulk. I get one of these and a 1-drop. Then the next turn, I get to play Offspringed Recruit plus another creature. Yeah. It's just like you just get to flood the board. Yeah. And also, I've played against this card actually, believe it or not, at the what was it? At the SCG Columbus. And got just completely ran over by it. It's more of a standard card. It's doing good things in standard. It hasn't seen really Pioneer love yet, but there was a guy who played it in Pioneer, and as soon as there's 2 of those things on the board and you just have to target a creature, it's just like, what?
Yeah. No,
it's ridiculous. And it has trample too.
Yeah,
I mean,
true.
it just
it does seem really strong.
Mostly it's that it's a great tutor target, I think, because it's for 3 mana you're getting a 2/1 trample and a 1/1 trample, and their ability stack. Yeah. So it's like, I'm pretty excited about that one. The Stone Coil Serpent, on the other hand, is maybe a little more sketchy, but it's kind of the same concept.
I get it. Yeah, I thought about that.
It's just like late game mana sink. You can just get this thing, and like I'm picturing it like even just against Phoenix, like having a reach guy that would be potentially a 4/4 or 5/5. It blocks a Crackling Drake for free.
Jeez, that's good. Yeah.
It can, and it has trample. That one's maybe a little sketchier, but I just kind of wanted to make a fun toolbox and thought that would be a fun slot. Teething Wormlet, I'd probably cut at this point for a Parting Gust, but that I'm just picturing
to
like
see your other deck. Teething Wormlet is a card that I feel like you could build a totally different artifact-focused deck, and it could be a 4 of. But anyway.
So Teething Wormlet is a 4 of in the other list. Spoiler alert. Yeah. So it's kind of a carryover from that because I just love this card, and I've played with it a little bit in like a green-white collector's cage, and I really liked Wormlet. Yeah. But especially after talking through things, I feel less strongly about it, but I still think you could have sequences where it looks really good, just getting that plus an artifact and just kind of like stabilizing. Like you're playing aggro and you get Wormlet Portable Hole, and you just get to gain life and have a little blocker and a removal spell. Just something like that. Dryad Militant is maybe also not good enough, but like I said, I kind of wanted to just... This this deck definitely leans more aggressive, and I was like, you know what? It's a 1-mana 2/1. It's pretty annoying for Phoenix to deal with. I just kind of wanted like another thing that was annoying to deal with, but still a beater. You know, obviously I don't have the Archons and the Redains in this list, so I just wanted something that was like a little bit disruptive. It's pretty much only disruptive against one deck though, so it might be a little too specific. But I mean, I guess it exiles like a Memory Deluge from Blue-White Control, which is kind of nice. But yeah, it may be too minor. But yeah, I basically wanted to make just like a package of efficient, somewhat aggressive creatures that also had some interesting toolbox capabilities.
Yeah. This is like an interesting thought experiment of like a contrast to like the one of Ghost Vacuum in the main for me, because this is like the one that's better to just draw turn one and play against the deck you wanted against, kind of. Well, Ghost Vacuum's good too, but this one's like provides you a body, and against like not specifically Phoenix. Like if you just have this turn one, you're like, well, at least it's 1-mana 2/1. Whereas like if I just draw Ghost Vacuum against whatever black red, it's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. It's probably not going to do a whole lot of good. Maybe it will in a very specific game state.
And that was kind of my
flip point here, though, is you like, I can't imagine you tutor for this that often.
Yeah, right. I agree. Whereas Ghost Vacuum, when you tutor for it, you're like pretty damn excited to tutor for it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's a little questionable, but that was my thinking. There was, okay, this is like somewhat disruptive to graveyards, but it's always going to be a 1-mana 2/1. But yeah, may not be good enough. I have 2 Giant Killers in there because well, part of the reason was I don't have Parting Gust. I really like Giant Killer. It's a great tutor target. It's a good removal spell for all the, demons out there and whatnot. Yep. The 4 aspirants, were kind of a concession to. I'm kind of bouncing around. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Just having a lot of 1-drops and being more beatdown focused. And I got, I started putting all these 1-drops in and some other stuff, and I was like, okay, I have nothing in the 2 slot. What makes sense? Voice, I think, makes more sense in your version. I do not have the hammer combo, but I could be proven wrong on that. I'm just like kind of averse to that type of thing. But when you have one card that gets both halves, it's at least worth trying out. I'll say that. Yeah. But what I did include, I guess, instead of that combo, I have 2 removal spells, right? Yeah. The Portable Hole and the Dusk Rose Reliquary,
I thought about
which
this card a lot too.
I also really like that card. It obviously can be a little situational when you don't have something to sack, but we've got
Inspectors.
4 Inspectors is the main thing, and you also have like just random idiots. Like the Paw Patch Recruit makes an extra 1/1. Right. Haywire Might main deck, might be a little sketchy, but I'm like, it hits Fable, it hits Leyline Binding, it hits Enigmatic. And like, it's a bump in the road against aggro. I don't know. I like it as when it's good, you're gonna be like so happy that you had it main deck.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Like between Portable Hole and Haywire Might, those 2 in particular. Like I feel like for me, Dusk Rose Reliquary, I could see it. I would be hard pressed to probably main deck like both the Reliquary and the Portable Hole, but I feel like main decking like 2 of the 3 here, where I'm main decking 0 of the 3, right? But like I could see 2 of the 3 being like, oh yeah, I actually end up wanting the removal spells. That much, like,
well,
more
and
than I imagine like that I do, and then I end up with 2 of them main, instead of 0.
And I think those decisions are very much affected too by, are you playing the hammer thing or not? Because if you're playing the hammer thing, you're probably doing that pretty often. Whereas my approach was more, okay, what do I need in this scenario? Do I need to kill 2 things? Do I need to just like get a Paw Patch and a Thraben Inspector? Do I need to get, a Paw Patch and a removal spell? It was more just like a value approach. Yeah. Was my thinking. And then the Shadow Spear's here because I feel like that's just too good not to play.
Michael
and
I don't know what.
Cracked it. He thought of something. But yeah, and then I've got the Forge Ramoka's Command, 2 Virtues there as well. Again, I'm playing Virtue. I'm higher on the creature count than you were, and a lot of them are cheap, and some of them make multiple bodies, like the Paw Patch. So I felt like, and pretty. Okay, Navigator's Compass, I don't know what you're smoking, but I did think about the Chain of the Rocks. I thought about Chain of the Rocks. 3-color mana in Pioneer just sucks already, and to have to get in enough mountains to play this green white card, believe me, I wanted to. When I realized it could get Chained to the Rocks, I was like, can I do this? And just, I don't think so. Oh, hence the Compass.
Hence the Compass, yeah.
Wait, what does Compass do?
It's horrible.
That's the compass.
It's only until end of turn, so the enchant mountain would fall off.
Yeah, then it falls off. No, wait. So you kill your own Gearhulk with it, and then it blinks it.
Oh.
Cracked it. Yeah. Wow. That's going deep. Yeah, it falls off. It says until end of turn, target land you control becomes. Yeah. It's only until end of turn.
Mountain you control. So once it's not a mountain, this just dies. I think it does fall off. It's like if something says enchant creature and the thing like stops being a creature, like a manland or something, it would fall off.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure it falls off. But okay, so that's basically it. My mana base was.
Okay, you went 4 pathways. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, I was trying to just like focus on the colors more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe some combination of our 2 mana bases is right. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm probably like too high in the manlands, but I think.
Yeah, I went down on manlands.
Higher, I think, than this.
Included some more duels.
I think castles like. I think 1 castle Ironvale is like.
Castle's nice. I always forget about that card, to be honest.
We're definitely low on the plains count, but I still think the castle effect of like a land that makes a 1/1 in this deck against the decks, it's like the type of card that like randomly wins you a game because it fits your strategy so well. So like, I think it's worth fitting in. But
oh, you'll see Pithing Needle in my board,
yeah,
Michael.
I debated Pithing Needle for sure. Okay, I'll go to that.
Yeah, so
Labyrinth. Oh, and Containment Freeze. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so admittedly, like the first, like all those 1-drops, I was like feeling really confident about, and the Gobakons, I was feeling really confident about, and then I was like, what do I do now? Yeah. And after seeing yours, I would probably change some things. I like the Grafdigger's Cage a lot, probably better than Containment Priest. I do like Pithing Needle. I was trying to think like how many situations is this actually good, but I think it is worth it. Like one, I always like Pithing Needle against blue-white control. It's just like an annoying to just turn off the fairy.
Yeah, that's right. I have it in my considering. I think, right? Do I have it?
I mean, and it just has so many other random applications. You can. I also really like it against Sack to just like turn off Oven or turn off Cat or whatever. Yeah. You can. I don't know, Rona combo, you can turn off Rona. I mean, there's like random things that it hits. I feel like it's just nice to have. And Spirit of the Labyrinth, I don't know. The last time, honestly, all that was the last time we played. I was impressed with it, kind of. And
yeah, it's good.
And I was thinking, and also I wanted to play Hushbringer, and I was thinking about Mono Green, and I was like, well, I kind of like this against Mono Green, and I don't want to play Hushbringer.
Spirit of the Labyrinth is like pretty comparable to Hushbringer against Mono Green specifically.
Yeah. But maybe Hushbringer is just worth it. I don't know. So that's.
Yeah, and I trimmed the Rest in Peace entirely. I do think that could be wrong depending on like how big of a player Phoenix. Like Rest in Peace still is the best card against Phoenix.
It is, but I honestly totally forgot about Grafdigger's Cage.
Between
too.
Deafening Silence and Tormod's Crypt and Grafdigger, like you have so many other cards to tutor that are all good. You're like,
right?
I love Portable against them. I love Tormod's Crypt. Like I love Grafdigger's Cage. I love Deafening Silence. It's just like I guess I'll just rely fully on the tutor targets and like knowing that drawing any of them naturally is like pretty good. And then tutoring multiple more is hopefully enough. That's my philosophy. And like again, depending on how well the rest of it holds up against some of the other decks, and if like I think there's maybe some of the graveyard combos that could potentially come out of the woodworks. Like I don't know, I've seen people wanting to do like dredge stuff with like the Bloodghast and the Insidious Roots. Maybe like if that becomes bigger, there's decks that if they become bigger players, like I think Rest in Peace could be like better than it is currently. But
Detention Vortex, man, you got some deep cuts. I have no idea what that does.
Let's check it out.
Detention Vortex.
1 mana, enchant non-land permanent. It can't attack or block. Its activated abilities can't be activated. 3, destroy it. Only an opponent may activate. I mean, you already have Portable Hole, Giant Killer, and like Dusk Rose Reliquary.
I think I don't know, Michael, if you saw the Dusk Rose Reliquary, but that card I think is kind of the better version of that.
I do wish Dusk Rose Reliquary hit non-land permanent. It only hits artifact or creature, which is annoying.
Well, okay, that's true. But
which is why I do like Pithing Needle for specifically to fairy. I think maybe my reasoning to not do that was just because I was like, I think against Control is like the quintessential matchup that I think you play Gearhulk and you're like, I'm getting Hammer plus Sigarda's Aid and I'm just forcing them to play around it forever.
That's fair.
That just totally warps the way they can play.
Yeah, I like it.
Wandering Emperor, your thing? Alright, a Colossus Hammer, the other thing. You're dead.
Right, exactly.
Just that's kind of my line of thinking.
Yeah, so I mean, after talking this through and seeing your list, I think I would probably like tweak things a little bit. I would definitely squeeze in at least 2 parting gusts, maybe 3. I'd probably trim like, I don't know, an emperor.
Yeah, I think I actually want to trim an emperor, to be honest.
One of the 1 drops, maybe Dryad Militant, and like a virtue. Go down to 1 virtue, 1 emperor, and then just play like 3 parting gust.
Like Malera right now on my list, if I were to play it, it's just like 1 more 2-drop that is good with protecting.
But yeah, I don't know. The biggest thing I'm trying to sell you on, without ever having played it, which is the funny part, is Paw Patch.
No,
but
I didn't.
It's just in concept, it seems so strong. But then again, like you have other 3-drops, so that's like
true.
A key difference between our lists. But I don't know.
I think like there's lots of things that I could be wrong about with this list. So like obviously, but I think the biggest thing is like, is it ever worth it to have a Mana Dork in the deck? And I'm trying it out with Gilded Goose, but like if Gilded Goose just feels really flat, like this could just be Paw Patch Recruit or something, or at least like 2, maybe not. You know, I don't think I'd ever play 4, but like I could see playing 2 or 3 as again just supplementing like the other 1-drops and being a card that's like good to play on turn 1, good to play on turn 3, and sometimes a good fetch with Gearhulk to make 2 bodies that both have good effects. Like yeah, that's
right.
I was thinking Thraben Inspector was like the true de facto, like if I want another body, I fetch that card, you know, type.
Yeah, maybe Paw Patch is better than Thraben. Yeah, that's actually a good thought. I didn't think about, because I was just playing both, but yeah, maybe.
I do still like Thraben. It's not like I would call all the Thraben for Paw Patch, I don't think, but like I could see it being just a mix of those 3, or of those 2. Like I could see it being Thraben plus Paw Patch, depending on if like I'd rather have a proactive body or try to chance getting, you know, mana acceleration.
Right. I feel like you should at least throw 1 in when we play.
Okay.
Just to see if like you ever want to tutor it, you know.
Yep.
I don't know, swap out.
I'll do that.
Something.
But really quick here too.
Yeah, so I pretty much made my piece on that, but it was definitely interesting seeing our different takes on it. Some similarities, some differences.
Yeah, no, actually I do think we landed pretty similar, and all the probably the most surprising thing was the like 4 Paw Patch, but I see the validity of Stone Coil. I ultimately I almost feel like maybe my different version of Stone Coil is like that Paladin class, like a card that you can just sink a ton of mana into, and like will be a big deal in a kind of grindy, race your opponent type situation. This is like, okay, I can untap and just play like a 6-mana 6/6 or whatever.
Right,
Paladin
exactly.
Class is more like, well, I already know I'm gonna have multiple bodies probably, so I'm gonna like play this. True. Make an Anthem, everything's bigger, and then if I can have 5 mana to dump into it because I top deck all lands or whatever, like now I can give my thing double strike when it attacks, and it's a 5/5 first strike trample, so good.
Yep. Okay, and then if you want to, we can just real quick run through this other list. I won't have to talk as much about this one, but it's definitely
I would think
a little out there.
I think we today's probably not the day, but I'm prefacing immediately with the fact that you didn't offend anything. I'll just like say that I think there's a list out there that must be good that's like artifact based. So, but I'll give the floor to you because you actually built one and I haven't.
it still seems like
is an all-star in that list.
Oh yeah, Teething Wormlet's awesome. This list, I will say, it still feels like there's like 1 card missing that like just needs to be printed, or that I'm not thinking about, because it just like still got a few too many non-artifact cards for like the Ingenious Smith, I think. But I really like Sentinel of the Nameless City with Teething Wormlet.
That's pretty cool. And Sentinel,
yeah. I actually
Raven Inspector with Teething Wormlet's awesome.
Right, that too. And I've just kind of been, whenever Amalia played Sentinel of the Nameless City, it was always such a pain to deal with. I was just like, this card's actually just pretty good.
Better than it reads, I think.
Yeah. I agree. But this definitely leaning heavier into the artifact package with a couple copters to round out the 2-drop slot. More of the removal spells because we have more fodder to sack.
Well, I've drafted some decks. I don't want to spoil your thunder, but I'll just insert a couple things that you might not have thought of. Because I've built a list like this before, and Gilded Goose is pretty good in a list like this because it's like mana acceleration for Gearhulk, and it like triggers the Wormlet still.
Yeah, Gilded Goose like probably got to be
repeatedly triggers it, and also there's Tough Cookie, which then is also good with Goose.
Yeah, I tried Tough Cookie one time and just wasn't that impressed with it, but maybe I'm sleeping on it.
Yeah, no, I mean it's not a 4-of or anything, but it could be like a 2-of.
Yeah, might be
2-drops, but
yeah. I also like Kellen as a random
Kellen is a great
one-of in this strategy. It could even be good in the other list too. I don't know, but
the tricky thing is it's like a bummer that it doesn't draw Gearhulk.
Right.
That's
that,
like a
yeah,
reason that
true.
it's bad because it draws lots of other stuff, but it's like, wow, it just fails to draw your best creature.
Yeah, right.
Just,
Yeah.
I
But
really
yeah,
liked Kellen in my green-white deck for a little while when it was like sort of, I didn't feel like I needed a more meta-specific card because like literally every creature in the deck it drew.
yeah, exactly. But what I do really like about the potential here, at least, not this exact list. This was thrown together pretty quickly, definitely quicker than the other one. But just the fact that in this type of deck, you want to draw Gearhulk all the time, right? So I feel like a deck with 4 Ingenious Smith is kind of attractive,
Yeah,
just
that is
because you're
that
going to find
is
it more
nice.
often.
Yep, that's really
Um,
nice.
yeah, that's a big selling point for me.
Yeah,
For
I actually,
this.
when I've made this version of this deck before that was pre-Gearhulk, like I did not think of Ingenious Smith, and I feel like I'm just going in here like adding it because it seems really good.
Yeah, it has the same, effect that Wormlet has of growing. No life gain, but it grows whenever you play an artifact.
Yeah, this is maybe like just pulling too much in another direction, but one thing that is that I think in this green-white artifact space, there's actually too many cards that are reasonably good, and the hard part is figuring out which ones mesh together the best, because the version of this deck that I've constructed before and tried was 4 Teething Wormlet for sure. That's like the best card, but it's
Yeah.
like it's the card that like gets you the most free wins. But then Thraben Inspector really good. But then you can do like if you do Thraben Inspector, you can go really all out on the 1-drop. You can do Thraben Inspector, Gilded Goose, some Tough Cookie. I know it's not a 1-drop, and then you can do Warden of the Inner Sky, and you have those jungle tokens, and you can. But then you start.
I thought about
like,
that.
Then you start to be like, well, what else can I fit in the deck? Because that's like suddenly like 20 cards right there.
I thought about that, and I also look in the considering. There's like a new kind of Warden of the Inner Sky, except it's a vehicle.
Oh, the vehicle one, yeah. I think Warden's a good card, but
oh wait, did I? Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
it's
I don't
interesting
know.
though.
It's interesting, and it's also an artifact, so it just triggers all your things, unlike Warden. But Warden taps more things, so there's pros and cons.
True.
Yep. So that's the quick and dirty of the artifact version. I feel like there's something there, but it's really hard to figure out what the right configuration is.
At some point we will have to do a stream where we just decide like we're doing artifacts and we'll come together and make the best version of the list, because it's got to be a deck that is good.
Right.
I tried Thousand Moon Smithy in the version I built before, and it was like really underwhelming.
Yeah, it might be too slow.
It was like it's the opposite of Sentinel for me, where like it read so much better than it performed.
Yeah, it might just be too slow.
I feel like with Gearhulk, you just don't even need this. Also, I have to say, you already said you're just not into the hammer. This deck like seems like it would love the hammer package, because this is the type of deck where you might just have like 3 bodies. You might literally have 3 bodies in play, then play Gearhulk and be able to just fetch the hammer package and be like, you just can't beat me now. I have too many threats and I have the hammer combo.
Yeah, after hearing you talk about it, I think I'm probably just underestimating it. It's definitely.
Obviously, it just seems like 2 mana for 10 damage.
It's gonna get some free wins sometimes. Yeah.
And I think like there's obviously decks with like Fatal Push and stuff, but like I don't know, the decks that play, even the decks that play removal, still like to be like, anyways, here's Shieldred on turn 4, or whatever. Like,
right.
You just make them not be able to do that if you have that combo in your hand. You're like, okay, you just can't tap out for your big stuff. You just have to like sit around holding up removal, and I don't have to play that. I can just play the Cigar Aid and then like play other stuff for a while.
No, I like it a lot more after chatting it through. So yeah, I'd like to see it in play. That's probably a little notable. Better than the 2 Smithies.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like it feels like it's like a going over the top that this is trying to do, but it's way more mana efficient.
Yep.
I'm a little surprised. I'm guessing like it's not even. I'm guessing it was like you understand why it's good and you just didn't play quite enough. But like I'm surprised that this didn't make. Maybe surprised isn't the right word, but it's noteworthy to me that this didn't make either of your list, the Shard Mage's Rescue, because to me it feels like a slam dunk. Like, counter removal spell, you get to fetch it. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one probably should be at least in the first list. Probably maybe in this one too. Probably just instead of one of the other random 1-drops. I think at a certain point I was trying to fit in more removal spells and that got axed, but it probably should be in there. It does seem good. So. Yeah.
Well, I think we're probably pretty close. Michael called out too. Interesting idea. I hadn't actually thought of this, that Hardened Scales and the Ozolith are fetchable.
Oh,
you could definitely do a counter-based green-white deck if you want to just fully embrace the
it's interesting.
annoyance with modern Selesnya cards that get printed.
Yeah, right.
I do want to play all the Selesnya 1/1 counter things and the Gearhulk. But getting that, I mean if you're not,
that's interesting. That's a good call out.
Other counter stuff going on, and then you go grab those both, you're gonna be way ahead the next turn.
Right. That's intriguing. If only we had Walking Ballista in Pioneer. I actually don't think I want that.
I actually that would be ridiculous in this deck, but also would be ridiculous in many other decks. And I think I've come around. I was sad when it was gone for a while because I loved the mono white deck we played together for a while, with Mastery of the Unseen and Heliod. But I think I've firmly come around to it would be more annoying to me if it existed in the format than it would be fun for me to be able to play it.
Right. Yeah. But yeah.
Okay, should I throw something together? Get some reps?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Okay.
Collector's Cage too, which is interesting. Collector's Cage didn't make this deck.
Yeah, well, I kind of just felt like that was a little bit of a different build. I played a green-white
Collector's Cage with Gearhulk though. Getting to play a Gearhulk in speed.
Okay, no, that's true. Maybe they could go in the same deck.
This is all proving my point though that there's too much good stuff, and it's what is the stuff I try to actually fully build around and take full advantage of.
Yep. Yeah.
Alright, so let's see. What seemed like the most important things I should do? I had my list mocked up so I could make changes relatively fast. Should I do I don't know. I kind of want to try the Paladin class.
Try it out.
Maybe I'll cut one of the Selfless Saviors for the Paw Patcher group. I feel
I like that.
I was between 1 and 2 Selfless Saviors pretty firmly, and then I think if I do only 1 Wandering Emperor and do Malaira, I think Malaira seems better.
All the one-ofs. Love it.
I think Malaira seems better in this deck than it has been in most of Malaira hasn't made the cut too much in my other decks, but I feel like this deck frankly has protecting Gearhulk is pretty valuable. I think it's now there's a 4-drop creature to protect in addition to Archon and Redain, whereas most of the times I've played these types of decks, there's Archon and Redain are the cards to protect. That's mostly it. And then my sideboard is the 2 Hushbringers plus Grafdiggers, a 2nd Ghost Vacuum, 2 Haywire Might, 2 Portable.
Yeah, I mean it looks good.
I think I'm gonna do.
Maybe a Pithing Needle somewhere in there.
Yeah, maybe I'll cut the 2nd. I'll do Pithing Needle instead of the 2nd Ghost Vacuum. So I only have 1 Shaper Sanctuary. Let's give it a try.
Probably fine.
Let's give it a go. Let's see.
This is just one of those things. There's going to be so many different little tweaks that you could make to this particular type of deck.
Take a while to figure out.
Yeah, it's going to take some reps.
Yeah. And it's going to be...
I'm unfortunately nowhere near playing it on Arena just because I don't have the wild cards, but once it's on MTGO, I'll definitely be messing around with it. I haven't played MTGO in quite a while, but this is reigniting my interest.
Only Arena lately. Ooh.
Well, that's a little awkward.
I think I'll play that.
Not a great first hand. Oh,
Not
interesting.
a very good second hand either, but I feel like I have to keep it and put the hammer back.
Well, we're gonna have some hands like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're signing up for this, right? So I can't be super mad. I mean,
part of playing all the one-ofs is you're gonna draw a couple of them sometimes. Yeah.
It's a good draw.
Okay, we get to double spell at least. Oh no, we don't.
We don't actually.
Yeah, the overgrown farmland is so awkward. I mean, I put 1 or 2. And
maybe I should only have 2 now, though. This is actually still a pretty good hand against mono white humans. Unfortunately, Paladin class is not. I'm not going to want to be attacking too much.
But just having the Emperor and a couple idiots, this is not a bad start.
Dang, that is. I gotta attack. They don't attack. That's insane.
Oh, Michael also called out Hope of Girapur if there's a lot of counter magic. That's actually interesting. I didn't think about that one. I mean, there are definitely a couple counterspell decks like Spirits and Blue-White Control, but overall I'm not sure if it would be worth it. It could be though, just to make sure you resolve the Gearhulk against Blue-White Control or whatever. You just play this little idiot and then make sure you resolve it. It's definitely something to keep in mind.
Well, I'm getting beat down pretty good here.
Yeah, a little bit. We have an Emperor.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's going to be enough. Or you could just play Thraben and Anthem.
I feel like I need the Emperor.
Probably need the Emperor first, yeah.
And I think if they have Brave the Elements or something. I don't even know what I'm doing with it yet. If I'll try to make a 2/2 and do like a double block and kind of see what they end up playing. Cathar, okay.
Brutal. Not really that brutal right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna get here.
I think, yeah, it kind of feels like you need to, like, Dauntless Bodyguard, okay.
So I think the question is, do I exile the Thalia's Lieutenant?
That's what I'm thinking.
The 1/1, or do I, like, make a 2/2, block here, and then block here. Actually, yeah, and then like sack here. So I basically trade with Recruitment Officer, keep a 2/2, and then exile Thalia's Lieutenant on my turn.
I guess that might be better because you still keep the 2/2.
I have to see. Yeah. I have to see how much damage they do. It's gonna be a lot.
Let's see. So you'll be able to block Lieutenant and.
Or actually, probably the better would actually just be block here and give first strike, not even. Because then I keep the. Like if I block here, give first strike, kill this, then I take. Oh no, but then I'm taking 12. Then I'm dying.
Yeah,
so
no, I think you need the other body. Yeah.
Body here. Yeah. So I think it's like might as well keep it 2/2.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was thinking exile and then just sacrifice the Emperor next turn and make it 2/2. But I guess either way, it's the same way. Same thing, same result. You know.
Take 7. And I gain 2 back. They lose Recruitment Officer, Thalia's Lieutenant, but they still have Adelina and Cathar.
Yeah, it's still an uphill battle, but we're fighting.
Pretty good hand. That's double beatable too. I think it's probably over.
Oh baby!
I think that's too little, too late.
It might be.
Let's see. I know I have to do this.
Yeah, you have to do that.
Block Adeline really well.
It does. It does. I mean, you could get. What else can you get?
Shadow Spear for sure.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, I can just play Thraven Inspector.
True, you can just play Thraven.
My judgment is
I feel like playing the Gearhulk's got to be better than going Inspector and level up, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. We came here to play Gearhulks. Let's play the damn Gearhulk.
I mean, yeah, they just have like Brave the Elements or whatever. It's over, so I think I just gotta play like Giant Killer. That's definitely.
Oh yeah, Giant Killer. Yeah.
Giant Killer and Shadow Spear is the.
Seems pretty good. And then just play a chump. Yeah.
I maybe should have grabbed Gilded Goose as a creature that could block. Nah, I think they just have too much. Even if they have Brave the Elements, I think they have.
Oh, if they had Brave the Elements, I think you'd be dead no matter what. Yeah. Deck and Stone, main deck. Wow. Okay. That's a bummer.
Be enough.
Yeah. I think that.
It's very okay. I think it's enough.
Yeah. No, that's 6. Even if you block 2 things, right?
Damn.
Yeah. Ugh. Man, almost got out of it. Were you on the draw that game?
I think I was on the play.
Right, the hand was just really sketchy, yeah. But man, that was exciting for a second. It looked like a game Gearhulk could maybe get us out of, but they had their removal spell.
Yeah, so now we get to see what do we want out of the package here. I think we want.
Gotta be at least 1, if not 2 portable holes, right?
Yeah, I've grabbed both portable holes.
Oh, you already did. Okay, yeah.
And both the Hushbringers. Ghost Vacuum is bad. Pretty much just all the creatures are like reasonable enough. I mean, Archon's not that good. So now we get into like, is Archon better than like the Sigarda's Aid plus Colossus Hammer package?
I mean, you're generally the controlling deck of this matchup, but it can get you some out of nowhere wins. I don't know. You need to cut 3 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would probably lean towards cutting it, honestly.
Yeah, this seems like the quintessential type of matchup where you don't need that, and then maybe just cut 1 Archon. Is anything else clearly bad? So I'm not familiar with all the packages yet to know. Like, I mean, Chargemage's Rescue isn't great, but
they had Deck and Stone. I mean,
yeah, it could be good. And protecting like a Hushbringer is definitely
relevant.
Right.
Yeah. No, I think that those changes make sense.
Oh, actually, the Paladin class is looking.
Oh man, the 2 white mana and the Gilded Goose. So awkward. Well, gosh. I feel like you can't keep this. If it had a green mana, I think
This is
it'd
the
be
tough hand
fine.
where if I just literally draws a green mana, it's kind of fine.
Yeah, definitely. It's pretty good if it draws a green mana, but
Jeez. Okay, well, I'm getting,
I mean, this is but the overgrown farmland. It's so
I'm
awkward.
getting like really rough hands here. I mean, I
Yeah.
just ditch the 1-drop. I can't even play it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
It's
Yeah,
just a brutal set of hands here.
awkward lands.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been having these type of hands lately. But we'll see how this one can turn out. Skyclave, like I'm basically not doing anything until I play Skyclave on turn 3, so I hope their hand is slow.
Yeah. At least we're on the play. Yeah, they do have 1-drop. Okay. Yep, still not doing anything. I don't know. This is gonna happen some percentage of the time. I mean,
Right, this could happen on my other deck.
I was gonna say, yeah, this hand could completely be the old deck. So.
Yeah.
Are we missing any like reasonable duels in Pioneer at this point? Other than obviously fetches, but
I don't think so.
I guess there's the,
I mean, yeah.
the filter lands, but those are kind of
Yeah.
awkward in themselves.
And I mean, I think we're just missing like the original ally color dual lands, like String Wild and whatnot.
Oh, true, the man lands, yeah.
I feel like I just do
Malira fight,
Light
right?
Fight, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good actually.
2-mana 3/3, baby.
Yeah, how you like them
I
apples?
get to play. And you know, I'm actually attacking this turn. I can't really picture them getting through a 4/4 productively. This guy next to me.
This isn't that bad of a spot. We're at a healthy life total.
I get to play Volcamira.
Yeah, that's pretty darn good. Of course, they always have the second Adeline. But we have a 4/4 now.
Yeah. Cave is reasonable here. It's gonna be a creature. Oh, I
Yeah.
actually
Something to break the stall.
they have the card that literally destroys Volcamira. They should just
Well, they have to get counters first.
true, which they're gonna get right now.
How are they going to get it right now?
Now they get to attack because of that.
Oh, right. Well,
Those.
wait, don't they need like 2 or 3
They
counters?
2 counters.
2?
Jeez. I might just lose to just that. Helpful initiate.
I didn't think about it either.
I should have just played Redain. Maybe just having a flying idiot is better.
Yeah.
But normally it's just so good in this game.
In your defense, I didn't think about it either.
Now they're gonna have the 2 counters here.
Yeah. Yikes. Interesting.
Oh, they didn't save it. Okay, that was a mistake on their part. That was an oops.
Wait, what?
They could have sacked this to give it indestructible. They just
Oh, they had Bodyguard on the Cathar? Oh, interesting.
I don't actually know if this is truly better. I feel like this is because they have this. Now I have like 2 things that make me a little better. Not drawing very well. They're on the classic 4 lands. I'm on the classic like 7 after mulliganing, so.
Right. Yeah, this is the time we need a Gearhulk. Come on.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll definitely turn this game around. Oh my gosh.
And of course, they have the perfect card. Give me a break. And they have mana to activate the initiate. Frustrating. Well, do we even live here? I don't think. If we block.
Yeah, we block. Maybe block.
Oh yeah, we're not just dead. If we draw Gearhulk, we can make 3 bodies. Or do something, or get a portable hole and a body or something. Oh yeah, right, and Malira does a thing.
Yeah, Malenia has a good ability, actually.
Yeah, you get to get rid of that stupid Adeline. Okay, we're not out of this game yet. Just top deck Gearhulk. Let's see it.
Oh, they can take the counter off of this. Wow, okay. Oh, did they do it wrong? Yes, they did it wrong.
Oh, they could have not killed the Skyclave, is that what you're saying? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's probably over. This matchup is actually...
Oh!
I don't know if that's good enough.
I don't think it is either, but I'm still gonna get excited.
Oh, no, actually, it might be.
I mean, let's see, you get
Lifelink is that good.
And you get
You
to...
get to equip it.
Oh,
I'll just
you get to play and equip, but then that's all your mana, right?
Yeah, but it's gaining me 6 life when they attack. That's a lot of life. Oh, they can destroy it. Oh my god, dude, this I needed to. I made such a big mistake. I know that Hopeful Initiate is like how they win.
I was gonna say
before. It's like
yeah.
how it beats everything that my deck goes over the top. Like I should have exiled the Hopeful Initiate instead of the stupid recruitment officer.
Well, or you could. Yeah.
With the
Okay. Maybe.
Maybe
that was.
I know that. Oh, stupid arena glitching the UI.
Alternatively, you could have just gotten Portable Hole and something there.
Oh,
and,
true.
And
I
maybe
think
stay
I
alive.
can't block
No,
enough
you were.
creatures. They had too many creatures. I needed the lifelink, I think.
Yeah.
I needed the first strike lifelink to like kill something and
Ugh.
get 6, but whatever.
Man, 2 times in a row, so close to Gearhulk like being our savior, and not quite. Just a little too late for the mono white beatdowns.
Just a classic like play worse than I think that I like. I'm a better player than that, and I just mess it up immediately.
So you're saying if you would have...
I just sort of skyclaved that Hopeful Initiate. Like, it's the card to get rid of. In the
Right.
matchup, not the recruitment officer. Even I just got rid of the 2-power guy and was like, I'll find something else to get rid of the Hopeful Initiate, and then it literally like kills all my important stuff later in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hey, we got a reasonable looking hand here. It's a good start.
It's definitely the best hand I've drawn so far.
Yeah, yeah. We have a curve. Who's going first?
I think I am. I'm not sure I understand Michael's question in chat. Is your own Adeline worth it? Like Gearhulk doing an immediate hammer combo seems pretty sweet. Which I do have the immediate hammer combo in the deck, so.
Own Adeline.
But Adeline doesn't do anything with the hand.
Yeah, maybe he's thinking about a different card. I'm not sure.
This is Phoenix. I'll be very excited to play this matchup. This is
Oh.
a fun matchup in general.
Oh, Phoenix. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see this too. He said he didn't read Sigarda's aid, so he was trying to figure out how we were equipping hammer.
Wow, my opponent's just going for like mega.
What? Wait. Dude, I don't think they've seen Voice of Resurgence before.
I was gonna say, wait, they only will have 2. I was like, are they going Mega Turbo Phoenix to get it? But no, they can't get it on turn 2.
No, I don't think they just saw 2/2. I kill.
I just have 2 4/4s now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably just game.
Yeah, that's not a very representative.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the highs and lows.
Yeah, right. Good old arena.
Deafening Silence, Graph Diggers, Tormods, Shaper Sanctuary, and Portable Hole. Like, I think all these cards are good.
Yeah, they all seem good.
I think this is probably a matchup where I don't want the hammer combo, which maybe this is coming up more than I thought it would. I don't know. It could be good though.
Well, it still seems like it could be just like a good game one thing. I don't know.
Patch.
Patch seems pretty reasonable to me. I mean, if they kill your stuff, they grow your other stuff. I don't know.
Honestly, like everything seems good.
That's
what's tricky.
Yeah, it might be the Sigarda's aid thing.
Gilded Goose. All right, maybe Gilded Goose is the weak link. Like they have enough removal to just kill it and leave you with the food.
That's true too. I personally don't love Giant Killer against Phoenix. I never have.
Well, now I have more removal. It's sometimes against Crackling Drake specifically, but I feel like having more access to other spells. Like I feel like Gearhulk just lines up well against Crackling Drake anyways.
Yeah. Voice of Resurgence is just 2 mana, I win, so
Yeah.
that's good
I mean,
to
they
know.
do play Torch the Tower a lot these days.
Yeah, right, right.
It's sort of like, do I want 2 Portable Hole though?
Maybe.
Also, Paladin classes may be bad because I'm
Oh,
not
that
have
one
many
can
creatures.
probably go.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I'm
one
not
can
a
go.
Paladin
Yeah.
class.
Maybe 1 portable hole is enough against them to be able to tutor it.
Just since I also have all the other removal still.
Right, right. I think that, yeah, that seems
Alright,
reasonable.
we'll see. Maybe I'll end up wanting the other one.
I do like me a portable hole.
Yeah.
this card's giving me an excuse to play more portable holes.
Yeah, no kidding.
Love it.
Oof. Awkward hand, but it's like one good draw away from being good. And I feel
Yeah,
like,
I think you gotta
this is
keep.
where the early hands are like looking like, wow, I'm seeing a lot of tutor targets in every hand. Which is,
Yeah,
so
right.
Maybe I'm just playing too many. Like that's a question that I did have.
Yeah, it's tough. Gotta find a way to strike the balance of a cool, good, strong toolbox. Yeah, there's another tutor target.
I mean,
But
the nice thing is that now Colossus Hammer is just a great draw.
that's true. That's true. Yep. Does Sigardazade itself have flash too?
No,
Okay.
so I'm just gonna run it off here.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't like if they spell pierce it, fine.
Yeah, right.
They're probably confused now. Like what?
They're either confused or they're gonna. What? They said I can't handle this.
Oh my god. Okay. Alright, well we've had not
Stellar
we
Phoenix
haven't had a
opponent.
very good like games that felt very representative.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's part of what's tricky about testing Magic though, is like trying to tease out what are the like true trends and learn lessons to learn and what are just like games that you throw in the trash. I kind of
Right.
feel like we're like 4 for 4 for games you throw in the trash a little bit right
Yeah, pretty much so far. Yeah.
I mean, the humans games like were more real than either of those games, but they were still like my hands were quite bad in both games. And what it did show me is that I ended up actually playing Magic both games, even with mulliganing into like pretty unideal hands.
True,
Alright,
true.
well,
Well,
mulligan
that's-
again. A lot of mulligans so far. Dang, this is a rough one to have to. This is a terrible land hand too.
Yeah, it is awkward.
I mean, I feel like it's got to be the Shadow Spear, but that's pain.
I agree. I agree.
I don't even get to play voice on turn 2 of this hand.
Did you see Michael's comment? It's really dumb.
Alright, well now I hope I'm playing against Waste Not, because I have 2 answers for it, and if this is like any other
Oh, yeah.
black deck, then it's...
Yep, you called it. Oh, baby. Yeah, we just need to hit that 4th land.
Yeah. I mean, if they just have, what's it called? Go blank.
Thoughtseize. Or go blank, yeah.
I'd rather them have Thoughtseize than go blank, to be honest. Double Field of Wow.
They usually play, like, quite a few. Like, sometimes they'll play more than 4, like that plus the Demolition Field.
It's like, do I crack the clue here? I kind of think I might.
You're in your upkeep right now, or
Yeah.
what? Yeah, I think, yeah, I think you do.
Because
I think,
no matter what, I get to play voice.
right,
And
I
that's
like
good
it.
either way.
I like
Like I might draw. Even I could even draw like 4, but it creates tap lands. It's like
Right.
Okay. There's a tap land.
Yep, there's a tap land. That worked out quite well.
Now they can kill my Thraben Inspector, but I at least have voice.
And they're never resolving, or never, like, keeping a waste knot. Well, I guess they could still just
Right.
go.
This is way more Dravoka's commands than I want to see in this matchup.
That's true.
Unless they're also playing the other enchantment thing that. What are you doing with these? What the heck?
Yeah, do they
basic
just
checking?
have... That's what I'm wondering. Like, do they just have nothing going on? I'm confused.
Holy shit.
Oh, do they usually do that? Like, play
Oh, I don't.
Lanix in the waste knot? I don't know either. I guess why not?
Okay, so
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this is the scenario where I go get Paladin class, I think. Well, is it
I could see
I
that.
could see it
I
being
could see...
Colossus Hammer plus Sigardazade, or I could see it being I kind of feel like it's just Paladin class plus either Paw Patch Recruit or Thraben Inspector.
Yeah, I could see all of those. I mean, wait, so what do we have on board right now? We have Gearhulk and what else?
And a voice token. And I get to play this man.
They do have a hand that, like, they still have 5 cards. They could just have more removals. It makes me a little nervous. Because if we get the Sigardizade thing, then we have no creatures left if they do kill our stuff. I'm kind of inclined to get Paladin class plus a threat of some sort, either Paw Patch or Thraben. Yeah.
I like Thraben for now. And I have a land.
Yeah. I guess they've already used 2 pushes, but they probably also play, like, Go for the Throat or something.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm guessing they're sitting on some more removal spells, but I have man land, 2 creatures, and a third, and it draws me a card, and then now
Right.
So I think this is a good setup to fight through lots of them. And this is definitely, Michael said, dang. Oh, I get to attack through that. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's really funny.
Okay, I kind of think this is just Paladin class, level up, Brave Inspector, and like I win if I take with Gearhulk next.
Yeah, why not?
It does have lifelink. Yeah.
That's true, so they'll be able to race a little bit. Kinda has Death Touch, so we can't fight it.
I feel like I'd probably throw this in the zone.
I think so.
Yeah.
Smash! Finally, a Gearhulk connects. Not with a hammer, but, you know, we're getting there.
Okay, they're on Death Touch lifelink tribal, apparently.
Yeah, interesting.
I mean...
Yeah, I mean, we still have first strike.
I get to give this double strike.
Oh, and that
So
double
apply
strike,
This
yeah.
first strike, so like now they have to kill, like both things are big threats.
Alright, pretty good showing for Paladin class.
This was pretty much the exact... Oh, very good. Wait, what? Insane.
Wait, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess your other thing I'd trample, so it actually does make sense to jump
yeah.
there.
I don't know how that being that exchange is nuts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they just need infinite removal. Oh wow, they take 3 from Bitter Triumph too.
Why did they not discard a card? Because they're like, oh, I'm going to gain the life back. No, you're not.
I mean, I just give this double strike.
Yeah, and trample and lifelink. Yeah, seems pretty good. Alright.
I think with just playing Dromoka's commands, I have lethal here, so I'll just do that to end the game, even though it's
Just
corny AF.
Yeah, sure, why not?
2 mana, 1/1 counter, baby.
Oh yeah, what a good card.
Is that enough? 8 over 3. Okay. I still needed to play the other one, but it's fine. Alright, invasion matchup, I think. I don't really know what their deck is, but I assume they have like some high, like sweepers and like lots of top end stuff. Shaper's Sanctuary matchup for sure.
Yeah, definitely Shapers.
Haywire Might to fetch ants and portable. Some amount of portable hole and Haywire Might, but I'm not sure how much of each. Like Haywire Might, portable hole, they both answer Waste Not.
Right.
I guess
Portable Hole also answers this.
Aetherborn.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just better because I don't know what else. What else could they have that Haywire might answer that Portable Hole doesn't?
Maybe they have Annex that you mentioned, but I'm thinking they, based on what they play, it doesn't seem like they have Annex, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But
This
maybe.
is not a Ghost Vacuum matchup.
No, definitely
It's
not.
not a Shadow Spear matchup.
No.
It's not really like an Archon matchup.
Yeah, they're not like frequently dumping out a bunch of spells.
I think you have to be a little careful about like boarding out too many creatures. Like the deck has so many
non-creatures.
non-creature,
Yeah.
like, tutor targets. Like maybe
True.
is this the type of matchup? I don't know. I'm now wondering like how much do I actually want to get Shard Mage's Rescue often? Like having Sigardizade Colossus Hammer, Shard Mage's Rescue, and Paladin class is a lot of just like 1 mana.
Like support
things.
cards.
Yeah, for like against a control deck. Like maybe for Dromoka's command, actually I can probably cut at least 1 if I'm gonna bring in like 1 portable hole.
True.
Or even like 2.
Maybe 2. Because it's pretty much only killing a Waste Not.
Yeah.
Especially
All the
if their
other stuff has
creatures
Death
have.
Touch, which
Right,
is
right.
Really bad for that. I'll try that, I think. do one portable hole, but I might bring in the second depending on if I see more good targets to hit with it.
Yeah, it's a little bit different version of Waste Not than I'm used to. Well, I have seen them play the 2-mana guy before, just as a
that's like an older
anti-aggro card.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, jeez.
This hand's so weird.
My hands are on mono tutor targets. I feel like having turn 1 Shaper Sanctuary, I kind of gotta keep. Like they might.
I know that's what I was thinking. It's like I don't know how mad we can be about it.
I just need to draw like any creature in this hand, and like any one or any. Frankly, lands are good and creatures are good, but
right.
If I get thought, and they kind of have to have Thoughtseize. I think it's keep. Mulliganing is just bad against this type of archetype in general.
That's true too. Yeah. This is so funny. We can only draw tutor targets. And maybe that means there's too many. I don't know. Maybe it's really funny though.
Alright, well, please say they kept go blank, not double go blank.
Yeah, right. Phyrexian Arena. Wow.
I'm taking the Thoughtseize, sadly.
Yeah, that is pretty sad.
But I don't really care about any of the cards.
Yeah.
And I just need to draw. Lands, there we go.
Yes.
And I think I don't care about this.
Yeah, I think you just eat
the Waste Not. So I should the Waste Not here.
Yeah.
Make them like have to play another one, and if they attack here. Okay, they did draw land. They have 3-mana Thoughtseize, but don't have Waste Not anymore.
Yeah. Feels a lot. Feels very underwhelming. 3-mana Thoughtseize with no Waste Not. Okay, cool. They love their Aetherborns. They love their Death Touch lifelinking boys. Okay, what are we doing? This is, definitely wanted to land there.
Yeah, I know. I really wanted to be able to attack with and, like, have them block and then eat it with Wandering Emperor.
Right.
I think it's Thraben Inspector. The question is it like Thraben Inspector plus Paladin class just to get Paladin class out and be able to level it up next turn potentially if I brick on land again, or is it Thraben Inspector just Cycle Clue?
I think I like Thraben Cycle Clue. You really want to get to that 4th land.
Like,
could be a tap land. Yeah. A goose. The goose is loose.
Who can like hit their land drops first right now is how it feels.
Yeah, right. I guess the Phyrexian Arena does seem better when you have a bunch of lifelink guys.
Oak Despair is gonna do some damage here, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, they're still a couple lands away. Okay, they're 1 land away from it.
Arena.
Yeah.
Okay, they couldn't attack. Oh, jeez.
Ugh, brutal.
I'm definitely playing this.
Yeah, for sure.
No. Never let it auto pay. It never uses the Lair of Hydra.
Oh, really?
Now I can't like play a white and represent Shard Mage's Rescue. Not that I think I need to.
That's super annoying.
It has done that to me so many times.
Because it thinks you might still want to activate it.
Yeah, and actually I would want to flash in Shard Mage's Rescue because that could be a card I could sack to Oak Despair.
Ugh, that's a good point. Yeah, okay.
But in this case, I will just think of sack Inspector and Paladin class.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, it's not that bad. They draw 1 card.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Finally found a land.
So they could like double block if I attack and do the first strike, which would be pretty annoying. Dude, I should have had the Haywire Might, not the Portable.
Ah, no! You're right!
That's hilarious.
Dang it.
I kind of feel like I like the idea of... Like, what could they have? Like, okay, now they can Waste Not plus Thoughtseize. That's pretty annoying.
True.
Jeez, I got a little too far behind. It's feeling a little tough.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what you could get with Gearhulk right now. I mean, you could get Hammer.
Right, but they can just Thoughtseize it.
Well,
I won't be able to deploy everything, so it feels a little bit like maybe I save, maybe this is a Wandering Emperor turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's a. Just do this.
A very telegraphed Wandering Emperor, but I mean, whatever.
Yeah. I just. Yep.
Yeah. Let's kill one of them and have an Emperor.
Now you've done it. Hats, we've got the edge in this fight.
Do this too. I just didn't quite draw things on my mana fast enough. I got the arena out before I got like my I could have had an Emperor out before they had arena out, so they took like 2 more turns to get Emperor out.
Right.
Now they can hit all their layer drops.
Hey, we draw a card.
Yeah, and I'm saving it. Am I actually? I think I am. I think I'm just using
Yeah, I think it's
mana,
probably.
and like, they can kill my Emperor here, which kind of blows, but. I feel like having like this is a meaningful card that interacts with their board, even if
Right.
the Emperor's gone. And I just felt like the card wasn't gonna get any better.
That's that.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I got to dodge the waste not plus thoughts this turn.
Shieldred.
Okay.
Well, this feels like it has to be a Gearhulk turn, but
I know, I just
Gearhulk for what? Yeah.
this game really just came right down to hitting land drops, because if I'm a little ahead here, it's amazing, but I just
Right.
like I can get Giant Killer, but they can Thought Seize it next turn.
They could Thought Seize it, yeah. Yeah. It's truly a land drop game. Kind of seems like it's over, but I don't know
I
what
think I
you.
make him take.
Yeah.
I took out the Shadow Spear. God, like look at how questionable everything is seeming already.
Yeah. There's too many decisions. I don't know, you could take the hammer still, and then it's like, okay, I either kill your Shieldred or you let me have this thing. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to chomp the shield.
Oh, that's true, you're that low. Fair point. Maybe it's just a Thraben then.
It is. It's really sad. I think I just make them have to take Giant Killer.
Yeah.
And I get to chump here. Gilded Goose can still gain me life. I still have another draw, but I lose life from it. Yeah, this was a real rough. I mean, like, my invasion turned out Thought Seize, and it still didn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I just didn't find the lands fast enough. Pretty much what it came down to. Oh, they can force you to lose life! Oh
Oh, I don't have to draw, but...
no! Oh, okay.
Okay, well, let's
Double Waste Knot, and now they're empty-handed. Interesting.
They didn't even...
Wait, they didn't take the Giant Killer?
Oh, what?
Wait, this game's not over.
Probably is still?
It probably
Because they
still
have
is, but
Double Waste Knot.
I'm surprised they let that happen. They were just like on face roll mode. They're like, I don't have to do anything this game. You just draw the hammer. That's funny. It doesn't really matter, but it's funny. Oh, it's
Like I
funny.
could play, I could play it. I don't know.
Yeah, like flip the invasion, I guess.
I can play the voice.
Yeah, probably. It's probably just like voice Giant Killer.
And then they just get the Thoughtseize, draw 2 cards. I don't even think I want to let them.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
That was rough.
Those are really.
Yeah, I definitely want to make my
ending, though.
deck.
Yeah, now that we've seen Phyrexian Arena, it's
Jeez, I
definitely.
almost feel like I don't know. What do
I mean that. I don't know. I don't think that scenario is going to be a typical way things play out. Like that you
No,
get.
I don't think so either. I'm just trying to think of like maybe I cut a Gilded. I don't want to lose too many creatures. Maybe cutting. I don't know. Maybe like all the Haywire Mites are good though compared to like Dramoka's Command because they trade with Phyrexian Arena and like Dramoka's Command just doesn't really trade with anything other than Waste Knot pretty much. But I think Haywire Mite is more likely to trade with stuff.
Wait, doesn't Dromoka's kill Phyrexian Arena too?
Oh, it does. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe. Okay. Okay. One Haywire Might.
Yeah, one is definitely good. One's
How many Dromokas do I want? The Dromokas is so tricky because all the creatures are bad to fight.
True. Yeah, I guess in that regard, Haywire Might just like does it more efficiently and gains you some life. The Might actually might just be better than Dromoka's Command in this matchup. I mean, when are you ever using the other modes? You're not, right?
Yeah.
I mean, a counter.
I
guess
a
counter.
Yeah,
that's true.
Which is not nothing, but it's not really.
Do you want
portable
a
hold
counter? Do you want
better than Haywire Might? I
Mm,
don't know how likely I am to touch a
I
board.
mean, they were kind of beaten down with those stupid 2/3s.
It
They're
been
kind
good that game.
yeah.
And I want to keep the threats. I don't want to cut too many creatures. Shadow Spear good. It might be good enough to race.
Okay, so Michael says, making sure I got this right, hammer combo is fragile in that if the creature that is attached to it is removed, it is just GG.
Well,
Or at least hammer is basically
Hammer's
dead.
just sitting out there. It costs 8
Yeah.
to equip then.
Hammer is stuck at that point, yes. that is the downside. But lots of times it can just one-shot people, so that's the upside.
I think I'm going to cut one goose. Maybe being on the play, I should keep it.
Hard to say. I'm totally torn on mana dorks. Obviously, when you play the Gearhulk 3, it's gonna look a bit. Dude, apparently, we're just playing a hammer deck. We're drawing Sigarda's 8 in like every opening hand. It's a one-of. I don't understand. Oh, it's really.
You know what? I'm keeping it. Yeah, let's just. I got the combo plus Archon. You know what? Sigarda's Aid. Let's do it. Let's see if this deck can win as just Invasion plus Archon into Hammer combo.
Really funny.
No thoughtseize. There we go.
We're really good at drawing the Hammer combo. We don't want to draw it.
In their hand. Go blank.
Wait. Oh, okay. They only have 2 lands.
Yeah, what is this hand they kept?
Alright. This is looking promising. Gotta say. No thoughts.
Oh, they can just kill that. Oh my god. Horrible draw.
Oh, yes.
I mean, they can just untap and kill my only creature.
Oh, true.
I
feel like you still gotta play
have
it.
to make him do it. I gotta
Yeah.
the creature.
Maybe they'll draw a Waste Knot and slam it. Come on.
Yeah, that
Come
would be really good for me.
Come on, opponent. Waste Knot. You gotta set up, dude. You need it in play. Ugh. Blast.
Oh my god, truly horrible.
Yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. We can... Oh, no, we can't even flip. We can attack with the lair, but we can't flip the thing. Oh, we could hammer the lair. Just make the lair a 1/1 and hammer it up.
I think I'm just gonna... So, they don't really have anything that I'm that... I feel like I just hit them for 2.
That's fair.
This is truly like what their hand is so bad. And, like, what is that? Oh my god.
This is ridiculous. Only one-ups. We could only draw one-ups.
Alright, well, I
Only
guess I'm just like flipping my...
Yeah, now it's worth flipping it, right? Might as well.
Because I can keep hammer, and then I can attack them for lethal, I think, maybe. It's very close. But
It's pretty, yeah.
they discard 2. If they draw the land for go blank, this has a counter on it now. So
Keep
if I end
him.
it for
Oh
one,
my
it's
gosh.
very close. Oh, and they didn't even draw it. That's
Oh my gosh. Are we gonna get there? Oh my... I think that's enough. Maybe it was already enough, but with the other land...
They'd have to have 2... Wait, how much... If I
Oh yeah,
hand
can you...
it- So if I keep up 1 mana for Colossus Hammer and 1 mana for Shard Mage's Rescue, I can leave up 2.
Then it's
I can
only a
animate it
2-2?
for 2/2, so it's 12.
Well, it's a 2 plus a counter, so 3, 13, 14. Oh! 1 short. Well, I feel like we just gotta gamble then.
Do I just portable hold this though?
Wait, they can't have 2 removal spells. They only have 1 black mana.
Oh, and they have Field of Ruin for my man land. Dude, come on. I don't think I can risk any... I don't know.
Wait, they have Field of Ruin, but they can't activate it.
Yeah, I know, but they can just... If I get them to 1 and they just untap and Field of Ruin my mana...
No, I'm saying... No, you can kill them if you don't leave up 2 mana. Just activate it and leave up Gobakon as your protection.
Oh, wait, yeah. 1, 2, 3... So it's plus... It's... equals 3. It has a counter. It's 4. I think it's still 14, right?
4... Oh, right. I was factoring in the Shard Mages. Oh, no. No!
I kind of think I Portable Hole. No, do I? I might want to discard. No, I Portable Hole. Wait, if they go blank me.
Oh man, this is so tough.
I kind of feel like I.
I have no clue now. It's so sad that you can only take them to 1. You got to smack them at least for something.
Yeah, I got to at least attack. Okay, what I'm doing. It's too hard. I'm just playing all my spells, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's not worth hammering, is it? Maybe it. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Make him draw a removal for. I want to be able to animate this to save it from Field of Ruin.
Right.
That's what I want to be able to do because then So I kind of think I leave it up.
Okay.
I don't know, man.
I like leaving it up. No, I like leaving it up. Just Portable Hole their stupid thing, and then yeah.
The problem is if they just play Shield. If they just play a regular blocker, it's bad for me, and I just need to draw a removal. Just need to draw a relevant spell.
Yeah.
If they just go blank me too, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. All right.
At least then I hit them for some. I don't know. Pretty bad. Oh, they're not even doing it. Okay.
They're just leaving up field, it seems like.
Okay. Well, that helps.
Oh man, that's interesting. So wait, is there a way? Okay, never mind, go ahead.
I just don't think I can...
I was like, can you double activate and still kill them?
If they actually... Well, I don't have to double activate, all I have to do is Shard Mages. Wait, yeah, can I? 1? The problem is you can't activate for x equals 0, which is really annoying.
Oh, yeah.
So I have to x equals 1, then equals 1 again.
Right.
And
So...
then it's a 3. Yeah, then I do kill him. Yeah, okay.
Wait.
I do x equals 1. Yeah, okay.
Does that kill them?
I think so.
Oh, yeah, and then hammer, right?
Yeah.
And you can save with Gobakon. I think you're good. I think you're good.
Yeah.
And they'll never see it coming.
Wow, I can't believe I'm winning this game. Also, I can't believe how, like... Oh, no. Oh, yeah, I do have 1 more mana. Okay.
Please let this work.
Well, yeah, it has to. They have no mana on tap.
Yeah, right, yeah. Yes! Colossus Hammer on the mainland. A brilliant play.
Exactly. Wow. This is,
Oh, that's so funny. Hey, we got to do it once.
Yeah. No, I mean, every game right now feeling super legit.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's
we're just drawing so many one-ofs. I don't understand. I know there's a lot of one-ofs, but there's also 4-ofs. What's that?
Yeah, the opening hands are all like the one-ofs that are the tutor targets, none of the like Gilded Goose, the Raven Inspector.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Unless it's a mulligan like this. Or... Like, man, I just have not had like a normal hand. I think I ditched Giant Killer here.
Yeah, this one's
could
like
have been Shard Mages.
reasonable enough. Hammer time indeed.
Alright, well we got someone hammer.
Yes.
The Natty Hammer.
The Natty Hammer. Yeah, in the most hilarious way possible, with a lair of the Hydra.
Yeah, with that being the only creature I draw. Or no,
Yeah.
I threw the Archon and they killed it.
Oh, that was so funny. Okay. Okay, so this is like some kind of enigmatic type deal, probably. Enchanties, as they say.
Being on the draw sucks.
All right, Michael, thanks for dropping in. It's fun having you around.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. I do the boring. Let them get a filtering, and if they want to get a treasure, make them kill my 3.
I like it. I like it.
Love it. But I wish I was on the play this game because then I would have had an Archon before they played that, and then I just win. Oh,
Moss Form Hydra.
Escape ship combo deck or something.
Oh yeah, maybe, or just like an Omnath. Yeah, it's probably an Omnath deck. Yeah, I mean, this just looks like an Omnath deck where they're just playing an extra threat.
This is very good for me. Man, 2 mana 3/3s. Holy.
It's looking real nice with the Dramoka's command. Yeah.
I think that's game.
That probably is. Yeah, they have 2 cards left.
They have
Can't
really
imagine.
good 2 cards.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of them has to be out.
Yeah, that's
I have this
a good one.
at least.
Man, maybe we should have been playing Malira in the normal green-white deck. I know you have at certain points, but it seems pretty solid.
I feel like Archons may be the play. I don't know if they wouldn't have, like, if they had sweepers, what would they be?
Maybe like a 3 damage one.
Okay, in which case I could save Archon and
Nissa, okay.
I
Well,
need to draw
that's-
some removal spells here.
Yeah. Okay, they're probably not playing a 3 damage sweep. Oof.
Okay, that's gonna. I thought that I had them from the card advantage of killing their threat and getting my Raven back, but questioning. Archon's pretty disruptive against their strategy, which is good.
That is true.
Okay. Running out of stuff to do here.
Drawing too many lands. We need a Gearhulk.
We need to
This might even be a hammer time if we get it. If we do draw a Gearhulk. Does it get lost? Okay. Finally, Shard Mages doing some good work.
That felt very good.
Yeah.
Great draw.
Oh yeah.
Kill Nissa?
Or Omnath. They're both good to kill. I think.
Redraw? I don't know. The life is pretty tough.
Yeah. No.
Actually,
Just.
you know what? I'm gonna do the old. Give him a chance to.
Oh yeah. No, that makes sense.
Oh, okay. That's not what I expected.
Yeah.
Making the decision for me.
Yep. I guess you get to get both. All right. That's interesting. I feel like that just means they have another Nissa.
Yeah, probably. But now it's like the spell they have to play this turn, and then I get to attack with.
Oh yeah, it's still good.
They had a.
Oh, they're up.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6 plus 5.
Okay. Yeah. Might as well get aggressive, right? Could almost even send the voice.
And yeah, maybe I should have actually.
It becomes what, a 5/5 on the other side? Yeah. I don't know. Hard to say.
Probably should have actually.
Other Omnath. I always. What does this one actually do? It does damage on ETB and then.
That's a when that.
Okay. Hey, there we go. Finally. Can we win?
No, because Archon doesn't let me do hammer, but otherwise I would be able to. Archon doesn't let me do it all.
Oh,
the turn.
right.
But I still think I can just. Attack with just that for now.
I didn't even think about the fact that Archon
Yeah,
doesn't.
it is a bit of an odd, but I thought about that. I think it's still worth it because I still think like swinging that one per turn, because I still get to get Giant Killer here and kill something on their turn and get another sort of good spell, which maybe just Paladin Class.
Paladin Class,
or Shadow Spear, I feel like.
yeah, I could see an argument for either of those.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't do all the Paladin Class stuff in one turn. Not that far though. Maybe just Shadow Spear, honestly. I don't know. Paladin Class is pretty good.
They both seem good. I kind of, that's tough. I think I like Paladin Class a tiny bit more, but it's hard to say.
I'm gonna go into full control here.
Giant Killer looking nice.
Yeah, I guess they're just gonna sit on this.
Sit on what?
Oh, this land here.
Oh, right.
After I Giant Killer, which is fine. Yeah, that's okay, that's their spell. Okay.
Yeah, it
all
feels
takes
like
is, I feel like this is a good example of just like all it takes is one Gearhulk. Like that's
Yeah, finally a good.
Gearhulk is like, oh, I get a 4/4 first strike trample and a kill spell for your guy. That's big.
And another thing to make my board better.
Yeah, and another thing that's pretty relevant as well.
Yeah, this is probably the best showcase for Gearhulk yet. Because this is a very value-y deck we're playing against, and just kind of outvalued him with it.
Yeah. The Paladin class means that like next turn I just get to attack everything. And I don't see how it's not lethal. I mean, they have to have something. I just have no idea what that I would never play around. You know, they have voice over Sorcery
Right.
in their deck too. I mean, like if they have some kind of crazy sweet.
Oh yeah, they're
thing,
elementals.
Binding. Do they get the Archon here? They get the double spell. What's their other spell? That actually gets them out of this.
Yeah, that was what they needed to start with, at least. Omnath.
Infinite Omnaths.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they've gained
Ugh.
life. I guess I have to get another spell now. Okay. And they 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so they draw a card from this landfall trigger too.
Pretty annoying.
Got everything their way in that little sequence there.
Yeah.
Still need to draw another good card after having only good, like 3 good cards. Okay.
Ugh, so much
I
stuff.
think my cave is still lethal though, because I get to give it double strike. Or no, I have to pay the 5 mana still.
Right, you have to, yeah, you still have to activate. Interesting.
Okay, well, I definitely activate. I'm 1 short of Wandering Emperor after that. God. So if I attack with everything, this can get +3/+3 and double strike.
Oh, it's for each creature.
Yeah. So it can be 8/8 double strike.
Okay, so, and it has
16.
trample. So they have to put, what?
Actually, and I actually could even activate Lair and attack with Lair as well.
Sure. So they have to put 8 toughness in front of it to not die?
So wait, then it would get +1/+1 for each other attacking creature, +4/+4, and it would be 9/9 double strike 18. They'd have to put 5 creatures in front of it.
Oh, right, with the lair, yeah.
Well,
So
they'd have to put 5. Yeah, they'd have to put 10. They'd have to put all these and something else good. I don't know, I feel like I have to do that.
say go for it. Yeah.
That's blockers.
Yeah, right.
X equals 1.
That arena clock thing always freaks me out. Just like, just do it.
So if they literally put all the 2/2s in front of this, they're still dead. Because that's...
Yeah, they need.
So I think they're dead, actually. Yeah, I think they have to put one of their good things in front of it, which means I don't know how they get out of this.
Yeah.
Because I still just killed
Dang,
all of it.
I definitely am liking Paladin class more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, it seems like the board stall breaker, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a nice little mana sink.
Oh, I can't
Target.
get both those, though, which is unfortunate. want to do 6 here, 7, 8. Oh no, I kill all of it. What am I talking about?
Yeah, you kill all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just the first strike. Yeah, I don't know how they get out of this.
Destruction.
Oh, they're still dead.
Oh, they're still. I didn't even think they were still dead.
Oh my god, okay.
Oh, that's so funny.
Alright, wow.
Well, that was a great show.
Invasion. Yeah, no kidding, that was really strong. I don't really know what I like. Hushbringer's kind of theoretically good here, but I feel like Gearhulk is more important than what Hushbringer's shutting off, so I kind of feel like I don't want Hushbringer.
Yeah, because it doesn't shut off the
I mean,
landfalls.
they probably have Risen Reef, though.
That's true. They almost certainly do.
I still
Yeah.
think it's probably not worth it.
I mean, there's maybe an argument for Haywire Might for Leyline Binding, but that's like the only thing, right? I think that's the only thing. Still might be worth a one-up.
And it gets rid of the like unflipped Fable as well.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Okay, it's definitely worth a one-of.
Is Shard Mage's Rescue worth it?
They don't have a ton of room. Like, it might literally just be the 4 Leyline Bindings.
Well, and they had to get lost, too. Which
Oh, no, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it actually was pretty good, that game.
Yeah, I don't want to be too results-oriented.
Yeah, right.
Is Redane shutting off any big... They probably have, like, escaped the wilds, I assume, right? Like, Redane might be getting...
Yeah, they probably have at least, either that or Scape Shift or something.
Wandering Emperor is probably not great.
That one does seem a little sketchy. Yeah, I think you could cut that.
Honestly, Voice probably isn't that good.
Probably
But
not.
I'm in the camp of, like, I don't want to cut too many creatures, but it doesn't
Sure.
really attack through anything, and it's like, if they're attacking me and I'm blocking, it's like, I don't know, I just don't really think it's, like, fighting on quite the axis that I care about fighting on.
Yeah. Shadow Spear might not be that important either.
Yeah, you're right, lifelink, I'm probably ahead. Like, if I'm losing the race and need lifelink, it's probably like I'm just not really in the game that well.
Right.
Selfless Savior. Selfless Savior seems bad. Unless
Yeah.
I think they have sweepers.
They might post forward, but they played a lot of creatures. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're pretty creature
I'm
heavy.
gonna cut one voice. I don't know, I'm kind of winging it here. Man, the sideboarding's really hard. I had the sideboarding like much
It's-
figured out with the other deck. There's so many
Yeah.
moving pieces.
It's
I feel like this is like the way this deck is built right now, which was obviously a huge guess. Alright, I mean, it's not the worst. It's very high complexity, which is making me like might need to simplify it. Maybe at some point I'll just I like learn things a little better, but
yeah. I
now
mean,
it's
it's
like,
day
it
one.
might be too complicated to play it that well.
It's definitely tough to figure out.
Alright, their hand just does nothing, so I think I'm just taking the first creature that does
They
it.
did bring in a 3 damage sweeper. Interesting.
This is gonna be I'm gonna just put just us.
Of course they draw that immediately. Come on. Oh well.
I get to just kill my Leyline Binding right next way, but then I can maybe remove it. I don't know. That was
Yeah.
like they needed that for their hand.
Yeah.
position.
That was their absolute best
They
possible.
had literally nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Come on now. That's just ridiculous.
Oh, I played Plains. Wow. Okay. I didn't
Oh,
realize I had doubled.
shoot.
Okay, that's just probably game. Whoops.
Yeah, whoops. I mean,
What can you do?
ugh.
I did not pay
Yeah.
enough attention to the mana there. I was like, I have 4 lands. They've all entered untapped. I'm good.
Yeah, right? Not used to having to think about that. Yeah, them drawing double Fable.
Off a horrible hand. It's just
Yeah.
Fable bailing him out game. That's happened to me a lot lately. Just gonna skip to that.
Yeah, that's definitely enough. We've seen enough.
Mega bailed out, but that happens.
Still think the plan's fine.
Yeah. I think so.
Good old Fable. It does do things like that.
Yep. My god, I just can't have normal hands right now.
This one's fine.
It just sucks that I have to put one of these cards back.
Well,
I
yeah.
guess I put back the Gilded Goose? I don't even know. This is
Or you could just go like Goose turn 1, double Pop Hatch turn 2.
just hope they don't have any. And just not care about. I guess like I have to keep either Paladin class or Sky class. I feel like I want the first removal spell.
Yeah, I think you do too.
Okay, thank god they moved twice, so I have a chance.
That's good. That's good. Well, now double Pop Hatch on turn 2 sounds pretty good on a mull to 5. Of course, they probably just kept a Deafening Clarion.
Right, yeah. Oh, well, there's the answer.
Oh, baby! We're doing it. All right. Well, yeah, now with that draw, things are looking quite good. We have the answer for their Omnath, we have the answer for their Sweeper. If they single target remove, our stuff grows.
Definitely need to find something that actually puts me on top here.
Well, yeah.
Okay. Don't love that.
Oh, speaking of something that puts us over the top. Question is, do you want to interact this turn?
I know, I kind of feel like I just want to attack with both and like have the Jamokas trade one of these, you know, with this.
Yeah.
Basically, and then like have this for next turn.
Kind of like that, and then you could hold up the food even and be able to actually play something too, potentially.
Yeah. Don't love it, but I'm hoping that they kept the, you know, they mulliganed the lives. I'm hoping that like Fable was their plan.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much just got to 1-for-1 the Fable. Okay, yeah, well, of course now they have
Okay, though. That's okay. We got to 1-for-1. That's kind of I mean, now I get to just play Gearhulk. Be the one with the thing out first.
Right,
Which matters
right.
a lot, I think. The question is, do I just go for... Okay, and I get to potentially play a spell, too.
Yeah, this is a big decision here. What do we get?
I feel like Giant Killer is probably...
Giant Killer's
Just Rescue's pretty good, too.
That's pretty nice too. That might be the 2 right there.
Well, I do have a removal for the first thing we play. It could be Paladin class plus Shard Mages.
It could be.
Paladin class will just win me this game on its own really quickly.
That's true. That's true.
Because I like if they just play Omnath, like what do they play that Skyclave doesn't answer? A 5-drop? I don't know what that would be.
No, Skyclave. Yeah, I was more thinking about the second creature. They have 3 cards, but I don't know.
Might's also not a bad get because it could get rid of a.
That's also
binding if that's the removal they have.
That's true. That's true.
Maybe I like that even more than Shard Mage's Rescue.
Yeah.
Man, it's tough.
It's really tough.
What are you leaning towards? I'm leaning Paladin class as one of them because that'll like.
Yeah, I think I kind of like Paladin class Haywire Might.
Yeah.
The more I'm thinking about it, because you already have the Omnath
Yeah.
answer, like you said. Yeah. And you can at least just put another body out there with the Anthem.
Yep. Oh, it's Get Lost.
Okay, of course it's
You have
Get
another
Lost. Yeah, you have another body to use the map tokens. Oh, okay. I mean, honestly, that's kind of fine. Now you just have 4 maps. It's not that bad, actually.
Sure, I'll keep that. I'll just go put 2 counters on here.
Just make a huge Archon, yeah.
Make a huge Redain.
Get Lost is so bad.
Yeah, that's very good.
I've played, I mean, that's coming from someone who's played it before, and it just always feels so bad to cast it. Get that garbage out of here.
Come on, land. Okay, well, I will get rid of that.
Yeah, get that out of here. Cool. probably holding on to that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm playing that.
Exercise? Wow.
Straight up
Okay.
random cards.
They have a lot of removal, I guess. It's honestly
Yeah,
not
that
bad.
I'm worried about here. Leyline Binding?
Another Gallus! Okay.
This mono removal. Okay, apparently I should have brought in the shield section.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, all we saw was like one get lost each game. We didn't think they had that many. I figured that was like a 2 of.
Great example of Lair of Hydra being so much better than Mutavault here too. Lair of Hydra has felt really good.
Lair's nice. Lair's really nice. Oh.
Okay. Well, we need
That's-
to win real fast.
Yeah.
If they have any ETBs, and of course
Can't
I,
make Lair big enough, right? No.
yeah, I can go into 3/4 and make it X equals 4. Just play Haywire Might.
Maybe. Yeah, I kind of think so.
Okay, unfortunately they're playing like really different stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna get gigantic. Oh, well, I guess that was their last card. Okay.
Can I make this a 3/3 and just no? Okay, I can make it a 3/3.
Can make it a 2/2, yeah. You just take the hit, right?
Yeah.
They're at 7. They don't have a flyer. I mean, they're on a 2-turn clock, technically, with the Shard Mage's rescue.
Right, I have one cloud deck. And how big can this thing be? It's big now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. God damn it.
Ugh. So close. I mean, yeah, you just have to hope they don't draw something insane, because if you just hit them with Redain and then next turn Shard Mages hit them with Redain.
I mean,
Don't
this doubling
draw.
twice to 8 to 6. This doubling twice isn't enough. It would have to be a land
No.
that makes it double 4 times. Yeah, okay, so that's game, I think.
Yeah, I think that's game. Yeah, they have no cards in hand. So we're safe to Shard Mage it up. +1/+1, baby! Sometimes it's enough.
Gosh.
Wow, that was kind of a nail biter there at the end.
Everyone. Elish Narn. What a card.
I don't know, that was a pretty good showing, again, for Gearhulk, because it basically enabled us to grind through 5 removal spells or whatever.
Yeah, that was quite the sequence of infinite removal to the opponent for a little bit.
Yeah.
And none of them really line binding, of course.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that was even with getting kind of a dead card in the Haywire Might. But, yeah, wow.
Should we do one more or should we call it? It's kind of that time, but
It's getting pretty late. I could go either way.
let's do one more.
Alright, let's do it.
It took so long to do the deck building. Let's give it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very fun. Like you said, it's definitely hard to play. Definitely a lot to think about on the tutors, on the sideboarding, but it's very interesting.
I'm playing as a Urian deck. The hands are just. I feel like I have a lot of one, not enough land, and a lot of.
Yeah, they've been all over the place.
It's Urian, so like this is probably bad.
Yeah, I think this has got to be a mulligan. I mean, just put back the hammer, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't like a dog here. This is the type of matchup that's traditionally really tough. Urian decks. I feel like Gearhulk
Yeah.
has a little bit of a potential I win button that he didn't have before. Being in the draw definitely sucks, just in general. Okay.
Wait, what?
They just maybe forgot to play their land and then conceded.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. All right.
Shaper
Jeez.
Sorcery is probably good against Ryan's stuff, right? Lots of removal.
I think so. Yeah, they have quite a bit. Haywire Might's not bad either. Are we assuming they're enigmatic?
It's hard to know.
Yeah, we didn't really see anything.
Might not be a Paladin class matchup. It's hard to
There's
say.
certainly leyline binding. I guess the question is, are they also? I would think.
Put at least one Haywire Might anything. Yeah. Skyclave is probably bad. I don't
Yeah, Skyclave's definitely bad.
Wandering Emperor is probably exceptional.
Yeah, a little sketch. Shard Mages seems fine.
Maybe the Paladin class is just less good than like the Cigars they plan in general. Shadow Spear might not be really necessary actually. Shadow Spear.
Yeah, that one can go. Maybe Paladin class can go too. I don't know.
It's tough. I feel like there's been already some examples where Paladin class like helps you go over the top almost more than the Colossus Hammer, which is interesting.
It's true. It has been a lot better than I thought it would be.
Want to leave all the cheap stuff in. Maybe just cut a Selfless Savior might not be very good. It's like Shard Mage's Rescue or Selfless Savior feel pretty marginal. I want all the other threats, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Shard Mages covers more things, but
it's like.
But Selfless Savior's a creature. Yeah, exactly.
Overall, I don't really know what I'm up against. Okay, still not a great hand, but I'm just gonna draw some land.
Yeah, I mean, this hand's not horrible if you just draw lands. 2, 3, 4, hopefully. Yep, beanstalking it up.
Bad start.
Man, I would have almost just killed the beanstalk there, but
I can't.
why not?
With Jermokos, you have to have a target for 2 modes.
Oh, right. It's probably just.
Okay, definitely this. The question is, do I play Archon or Redain?
Yeah. I think Redain, especially because you have a second one, and they have a kill spell.
Kill spell will be 2 more. Oh no, they only have one thing. They only have 2 lands that have land types.
Oh, so they can't even cast it? I don't think,
Oh, they have
right?
this though, but that's one of the has the same land types here, so I don't know that they can cast it. But, okay.
Well, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. This might be Bring Delight then.
Yeah, I know it's definitely like that.
Yeah, with Cornucopia and everything.
Right,
Yeah.
I think I'm just going for. I mean, Haywire might be pretty good here, I guess.
Yeah, Haywire might Shaper Sanctuary. So it's kind of good.
It's like the grindy thing. Yeah, like I could also go for Hammer Cigar as aid.
True, you could.
Cause
But they have a binding in hand.
yeah, right. It seems like I might be in. Do I do the Sanctuary?
Sanctuary or just a threat, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm debating between Sanctuary or if if a 1-mana creature is good because I'm like low on land and just want more creatures out to be Jermokos commanding.
Right. It's tough.
I'm kind of leaning Ravens.
Yeah, I could see either one. I don't know. I think I would get the enchantment, but you do you. I just think in the long run it'll pay off, but I could be totally wrong. We'll see.
And now this is like terrible, the Leyline binding. because
Right.
I know I can get it back. So I kind of keeps it safe from the 1 removal I know they have. And suddenly Fable is just not scary at all. If they just play Fable, I get to just eat it with Jermokos. Oh my god.
Yep.
Of course.
Oh, of course they have that.
Just Tibalt, eat that. That's just like game. I don't know. Okay, the 1 card that just beats everything.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Wow, well, I should have gotten Giant Killer, I suppose, but
Yeah, maybe yeah.
trying to outvalue me. Get 1 card, bring the light.
Bring the light. Only 1 card, but it is the best card. Bang.
Real awkward assortment of spells here.
Yeah, this is really tricky.
I don't know, I kind of feel like I just Shaper Sanctuary Archon and just be like, alright.
Yeah.
Like, you can Leyline Binding my Archon, but then I at least draw a card. And that leaves my Gearhulk. And I still haven't answered your Leyline Binding.
Yep.
Can't bring to light now.
Oh, right. Yeah, they can't bring to light now. Yeah.
So I guess they're gonna do that, then bring to light. Probably now. It's probably a bit more than I can overcome.
Oh yeah, they still could do that for only 1 mana. Dang.
Just kind of was stuck on the lands and behind. Like this was real close to being a game I could get. Just not.
Yeah.
Just them drawing the double Bring the Light, like off a pretty garbagey hand. It's like this was the classic game. We're seeing their hands. Like, just made it. Oh, so you just have a perfect hand because I saw every card you draw will be perfect now.
Right, exactly. That happened last time too.
Trickery is just a hobby. Chaos.
With the double Fable game.
Just don't really expect to get out of
You
this.
won't miss it.
Yeah, Tybalt is pretty brutal. I don't.
So I can get back my Archon for 2 mana. Does that help me really?
Archon
though?
for 2 mana and then play Redain, I guess. I don't know.
And then they just still.
then they just get to-
Beanstalk out. They still have Tibble. I don't
Yeah, they still have a full grip. It's probably game. Ugh.
Wow,
That was
when I
actually-
resolved the Gearhulk, I thought I had it.
Yeah, no, that was I think a slimmer margin than it looked because they just were snowballing out of control at the end. But like, if they just don't have that first Bring to Light,
Does Grafdigger's Cage interact with Bring the Light?
players can't cast spells. I don't think so because I think it exiles it first. I'm pretty sure. I'll double check. I think Bring to Light says exile that card and then cast it. Yeah. So no, it does not
Yeah.
because they're not casting it directly from their library.
Obnoxious. I could see the other Haywire might, given that now, but it's just like ways to get rid of Leyline Bindings and Fables. And up the Beanstalks, like those are all their engine, like those are a lot of the best cards. In the
Yeah,
deck.
it does kill a lot of stuff. Yeah.
It's a little tricky though because it's like just running it out doesn't really feel that great because they could just
True.
do a sweeper and get rid of it, but it might be better than like a Gilded Goose, you know. I don't know that I'm
Yeah.
mana dorking them out. I don't know. Maybe I want the mana dork on the play.
That's true.
More than,
That's
like,
true.
Raven Inspector.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Let's
I like
try
that.
Let's try it.
Yeah, let's see a turn 3 Gearhulk. We haven't got to do that yet.
Yeah. I mean, I only have 3 geese. It's not like the most likely thing in the world, that's for sure.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, this is a nice hand though.
Yeah, we'll take this.
Turn 2 Paw Patch. Turn 3 Redain.
Seems pretty damn solid.
Yeah, it's a sweeper. So,
Yeah. Bad against a sweeper, but good against single target.
Yeah.
Good enough, at least.
Just gotta draw Dramoka's command and then have
Gearhulk.
and then have them only have like a
Roaring Furnace. Oh, that kills something. But then your other stuff grows. You get both triggers. You get 2 triggers.
Can I put them both here?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, other than the creature that got targeted. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The double paw patch. Not bad. That's right, take 0. Gotta send a message.
Okay, if they have 3 mana, do I play around 3 mana sweeper?
Wait, what would you... Oh, just not play Redain?
Yeah, not.
Mm.
Oh, well, if they play something here, then I definitely don't play around it, but...
I don't know. It's tough. They'd probably have that Deafening Clarion
Yeah, they probably play like 2 of it
in their
A million
deck,
cards.
at least, yeah. And do they have red mana? Oh, yeah, they played that thing, yeah. Ugh, this is tough. Maybe you just attack with Lair.
I kind of think that's what I'm gonna do.
Because they, I mean, you're not stopping a Bring to Light yet, anyways. They only have 4, or they'll only have up to 4 mana. Yeah, I think I like this better.
It's tough.
Because the game's just over if you play Redain and they play Clarion.
Yeah, it's just over. Yep.
Yeah. Now they're at 8. I mean, let's, yeah.
Now at least they take the whole turn to do it, and then I play Redain.
Right, exactly,
Still
yeah.
not great. It's still pretty bad for me, but
Something.
yeah, of course.
Yeah,
It's
there's
an 80 card deck, of course.
Yeah.
And I have a million lands. God.
Yeah.
I drew like one non-land card since my opener.
Kind of like hope they have binding here. Almost, so we can just Sage you it. Oh, of course they have Helix. No.
Spell, yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Oh
worst
my
possible.
gosh, it's just
No.
bad. Well, that'll do it. That's all, folks.
Yeah, that probably is all.
Such a cheesy deck. It's like they had to have double removal plus 3 mana sweeper, and they just do, and it just feels like that's every game against. It's like the 80 card deck.
This has been my least favorite deck to play against in Pioneer for a while. It's just, yeah, it feels like they somehow always have the perfect things, even though it's an 80 card deck with a bunch of random things. And we're just drawing only lands.
Yeah, right.
Darn. Kind of a bummer last match, but I mean,
Yeah.
technically not over yet, but okay. Sure, why not?
Literally just all the perfect cards. Gain of life. Of course.
Ugh, come on. What the hell?
Like, this is a good example where, I mean, assuming they could have literally Fatal Push or another Vanishing Verse, whatever, but Gearhulk would win me the game with Hammer here, you know?
Oh, yeah, that would have been. I was going to say, we could still maybe draw Gearhulk.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's a good call out. Unless their last card is Fatal Push, that would have been a really good Gearhulk. Hammer time.
Oh my gosh, they have another removal. Oh, they're blocking.
Just have to hope they somehow never trigger those up the beanstalks.
I
Wow.
think they can just do Niv plus untapped land. Void is, wow. That is very good. It's a creature. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Oh, wait, what? How? Oh my,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
dang. Oh, the room, too. I forgot about the room.
I can destroy one of these cards. Maybe I should have put Sejude something earlier.
Maybe. Okay, well. Why?
I quite literally have essentially infinite lands here.
Yeah. Yeah, now you might as well just say do something. Turn off old Cletus. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The fact that we're even kind of still in this game is pretty hilarious considering the amount of lands.
Yeah, I mean, I literally have 1,000 lands.
Yeah, the opening hand looked pretty damn solid too. If we would have just drawn some decent stuff. Just anything. Yeah.
And
Now the draw a million cards.
now the hammer doesn't win it for me because it has a flying blocker for Goose. So
Right. It doesn't hammer make it lose flying?
yeah, but you can attack it and have them declare no blockers because it has
Oh,
flying, and then you can
right.
put it on after.
Right.
Just truly a case of I drew literally nothing for 1,000 turns in
Yeah.
a row. And there
Yeah.
it's like it could have been 3 turns in a row.
Yeah,
The
of
game-
course. Now it's too late. Ugh, that hurts. Wait, is there anything we can get? No, I don't think so. Well,
I mean, they have infinite cards. I'm not even really interested in
Yeah,
playing it out.
no.
They already had a million removal spells before they drew 10 cards. Now they drew 10 cards.
I was trying to think, is there any way we can sneak a win this turn, but I don't think
I
there
think it would
was.
have to include hammer and
Right, and that's 2 cards, so yeah.
it was
Well-
fun. I mean, I would say Gearhulk definitely felt like the real deal.
Oh yeah. Overall, it was still really fun. Kind of an annoying one to end on, but that's
I mean,
it's always annoying.
the least, and I shouldn't say it's the least. I don't know what the actual least fun matchup is to play. It's up there in my lesser favorites for sure.
Yeah.
Mostly because it truly feels like they always have like the remove. I'm always like, I hope they don't have this removal spell, and then it's the one they play, and I'm like, okay,
Right.
card back. Like the don't have Clarion. Oh, and then immediately draw Lightning Helix that gains you life and kills the Redain. Like,
Yeah, exactly. Come
and I
on.
draw nothing.
Yeah.
But it was a good showing. I mean, they clearly didn't have that good of a draw because they had no finishing. They like ran out of stuff to do. They could have easily just had one Bring to Light, and then that game's over way faster.
True. Yeah, that was fun. Gearhulk seems very strong. I agree, the real deal. Finding the right configuration is going to be tough. It's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
gonna be an
definitely
endeavor to get there.
tricky, but
We played all matchups where we didn't want any graveyard interaction. Maybe
true.
the
Well,
graveyard
we
game-
did technically play Phoenix. They just like scooped.
Oh, yeah. Scared. Yeah, there's a lot to think about.
Yeah.
The Shard Mage's Rescue felt less exciting than I expected it to. Like, I never really wanted to tutor it up, but maybe there's times where I would.
It had a couple moments where it was just good from you.
Right, I was gonna say, it's
but-
definitely when you just draw it. I think my current, this current build is like a little bit, it felt, if anything, a little bit threat light. And like, it made me wonder if like Goose, see, like, that whole play experience, we never had an early anything really. We, like, literally the only early thing we ever had was turn 2 double paw patch for group.
Right, yeah.
It's not like it felt too slow. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, is it just a no mana dork type situation? And like, you're playing Gearhulk on turn 4, but like, you hope that's good enough, and then you have all the other slots are like the highest power 1-drops and 2-drops to like make you be in a good position when you land the Gearhulk, ideally, versus trying to be ahead on a turn ahead when you play it. I don't know, it's food for thought. I could still see playing it early being like strong enough to justify having some number of mana dorks.
Yeah, we didn't see the like best case scenario with the mana dork, so it's hard to say for sure, but I can see either way. I think when I eventually get to play this on MTGO, whatever version I play it is probably not going to have mana dorks, just to start.
Yeah.
See how it goes. But I don't know. It's interesting. Paladin class was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, Paladin class had a couple moments, that's for sure.
Never drew Parting Gust.
No, I never drew any, so that means we need 3. I'm just kidding. It is just a really good card. It just
Yeah, I
lot
could
of
kind of
those
see
matchups
like
just-
splitting the difference between that and Dramoka's command going 3/3.
yeah.
But
But so good against Fable though. We saw a lot of
true.
Yeah, well, I'll go
Voice
ahead
is
and
2
call
minutes
it.
in the game.
Yeah, voice feels good. Voice actually does feel good in this current.
It
deck,
actually
I have to say, I think it's actually a good 2 or 3 up in this type of deck where you just want like a 2-drop that doesn't just die to like Fiery Impulse every single time as a 1/1. Like, you just want a card that's like, it's a headache to deal with, and like, again, knowing that you at the top end of the deck with the Gearhulk is gonna make, like, even if it's just the 2/2, like, you're gonna get a Shadow Spear, you're gonna get a Paladin class, like, you're gonna get stuff that like makes it matter, as long as you don't whiff on ever drawing your Gearhulk, so the body can matter. All right, well, yeah, we've stayed up late enough. Thanks for joining and for hanging out as always, Paul, and thanks for anyone who tuned in and watched. It was a lot of fun. I think we'll have a lot of more content in the coming streams playing with Gearhulk, because there's a lot to do with that card. Signing off.